Penis! I'm sorry, where did
Oh,
that come from? Anyways, what is up, YouTube folk and ladies and fellas and whatever the hell else out there, robots? Because I'm pretty sure robots are watching me right
aliens,
now, wishing I was dead.
aliens,
but
droids.
R2D2, ha 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 ha. But anyways, so I figured since wasn't gonna do a Fortnite stream tonight, since most of my friends I play Fortnite with every Friday night are over in Indianapolis right now, so I'm not doing Fortnite tonight. And I figured, well, might as well come back on here and hang out with my bud Maniac over here, because yeah. Which actually, springing this upon you real quick, I am making an official announcement right now.
Ooh.
So, haven't told anybody this, and I haven't even told you, but since my podcast, the Horseman Podcast, has been looking to expand, we would be honored to have you as a new co-host.
What, me?
Yep.
Oh, you can't be serious. Come on.
I am deadly serious.
Wow. Thank you. That's such an honor, honestly.
Well, there you go, because you'll finally get to talk to musicians eventually, because I've been in talks to have Arthur Risk on the show. I've even had a conversation with Paul Riedel from Blood Incantation, Spectral Voice to get on the show, although he hasn't said officially if he wants to do it or not. We just talked about it, and maybe John McEntee from Incantation, which is still due to happen. I just gotta pick the right time for that to happen. And of course, just shooting the shit on that show and all sorts of wacky, crazy BS.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as like when the next episode would happen, not entirely sure yet. But hoping the next one will be that Arthur Risk interview, which that will be a lot of fun to pick his brain about production and such.
Hang on.
Hey, Bash.
Yo, Boss Antelope. Let's talk about Venom.
Oh, don't get him started. We won't hear the end of it. Which, once again, I'm right, he's wrong. But anyways. So for tonight, anybody that's in chat, feel free to send more band versus band, album versus albums, and we'll be doing more tier lists since those seem to be really popular on these streams.
And
might
those
as well.
and the band versus band stuff is always fun.
Yeah, because it really makes me want to explode into smithereens. Because it's like, why do I have to pick?
Hey,
do I do it to myself for chaos?
Do you want to rub Carolina Reaper dust all over your right testicle or your left testicle?
In this case, boss, it's not an opinion, it's a fact. Bathory was first true black metal band, Venom's speed metal that inspired black metal. Or proto-black metal band, not proper black metal. So, there you go, boss. You're wrong, I'm right. But anyways, so I figured we can get this kick-started with some tier lists while we wait for chat to file in.
Yep. I have a couple more that I made. I'm actually finishing just quickly editing some to a number one so we can go through those if you so wish. Again, me and my shameless self-promotion. Because indeed, I am capitalist scum.
Don't ruin it. I'll ruin your day if I want to, because I'm practically your big brother, and it's my job to ruin your day. With
pretty
facts.
much.
Facts. Not lies.
Here. Bam. And bam. Let's get you right there. Let's get you up.
So I figured we can kickstart with something non-metal related.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The tier
There
list.
we go.
So we've done fast food, we've done vegetables, we've done
Meats.
meats. I don't think we've done fruits yet.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've done fruits either.
Well, apparently, according to my search history, apparently we've done fruits.
I think we tried to look up
gonna,
fruits, but we didn't like.
And we just
find
kept
one.
getting blocks fruits. Like, what the fuck is blocks fruits?
Is this like a? Is that like a Fruit Ninja anime?
Probably. It really wouldn't shock me.
Is there not? Why are these all anime? Where I just want to talk about strawberries and cantaloupes. God damn it!
And avocados and bananas.
And tomatoes. Oh, what?
And cucumbers.
Did you just pass one? Looks like.
Oh, here we go. Tier list fruits.
Here, I'm gonna go full screen so I can actually see. Get this French out of here. Disgusting language. I'm kidding. To anyone watching this who's French, I'm kidding. You're cool. Kind of. Dude, my elementary school teacher was French, and she was the bitchiest woman I've ever known. That's why I have a vendetta against French people.
It looks like we got a lot of options.
Yeah.
Here.
I guess
so
we should
it
go
looks
through...
like starting off with actually can't really tell what this is. Could be
Is that an apricot?
It could be. I don't think, other than like having it in like a flavor, like a flavoring, I don't think I've ever had actual apricots.
Well, assuming it is an apricot, because
it is an apricot,
because I'm not 100% sure, honestly. I like apricots. I'd probably put them in good. They're like not my favorite, but they're good. I do like them. If someone offers me one, I'm not going to turn them down, right?
Yeah.
And this is
looks like we got nuts.
Is that a nut? What the hell is that?
Looks like random nuts like cashews, peanuts,
almond.
What have
Is
you?
that
Almond.
Are nuts?
I think this. Are they? Are nuts fruits?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they are. There's like dry, hard shelled fruits.
Huh, I've never thought about nuts.
Massive revelation.
I've never thought about nuts as fruit.
Me neither, but I guess it's a fact. So
there's cherries attached to my pee-pee? How's that supposed to work?
Dear Lord. So nuts. So in particular, we're talking almond, peanut, cashew, pecan, walnut.
It feels kind of weird that you would like combine all those nuts together because they don't all taste the same. Like those are all different.
Nah, they're all different, but as an all-encompassing thing.
I mean, I do enjoy like almonds and like cashews and stuff. So yeah.
And of course, peanut butter.
Yeah,
you can't go wrong with peanut butter. So, I guess because I'm not like the world's biggest walnut fan, I'll put it down.
I don't think I've ever had walnuts or hazelnuts for that matter.
Well, I've had walnuts and like fudge, and it's not bad.
Or like, well, I mean, I guess Nutella is hazelnut, but that's like 99% palm oil. So.
Yeah, but it's damn good.
Yes, especially on brioche bread. Oh.
Or a croissant.
Mm-hmm. Pineapples next?
Pineapples. So, okay, so pineapple, it depends on what you have it with. Like, I've had, like, cakes that have pineapple or, like, pies with pineapple, and they're pretty good. Don't put pineapple on pizza.
Fuck you. Pineapple on pizza is delicious. Yeah, no, dude, pineapple on pizza is fucking amazing. I don't care what anyone says. Pineapple belongs on pizza. It's perfectly fine.
I've had it a few times. Duty. It was disgusting.
It's my duty as a proud citizen of Canada to stand up for pineapple on pizza because we invented that shit. All right, I'm proud of it.
I thought it was Hawaii because they always call it Hawaiian.
No. Actually, I think that's a little bit better. Actually, Hawaiian pizza was not invented in Hawaii. This little fun fact, it was actually invented in Ontario in 1962 by a Greek immigrant. It's sort of like how like chicken Kiev was not invented in Russia or Ukraine. It was actually invented in France. even though it's named after the Ukrainian capital. Kind of weird how that shit works, huh?
But anyway,
Anyways,
so pineapple. There are times I do like it, and then there are times where I'm like, I'll go grape.
I mean, I put it in top tier personally just because I love pineapple, but whatever.
Looks like we have eggplant.
Eggplants are fruits? Or
what?
No,
I mean,
I
it
don't
looks
think-
like eggplant.
No, I don't think that's an eggplant because this is, well, I guess it does. Actually, it's not alphabetical. Never mind. Or I guess when in England they call them courgettes. Courgette.
Either way, if it's not eggplant, then I don't know. So
Yeah, I don't know honestly.
and let's double check.
Is this is that an avocado?
I think this is avocado, which that's immediately going top tier.
Yeah, some of these are just really poor.
love avocado. Absolutely love avocado, especially guacamole or I like putting avocado on my burgers sometimes, or avocado and eggs or avocado toast. Hell, I've even heard people use avocado to make brownies.
That is interesting. But yeah, I mean avocado, it's
avocado fudge.
Avocado just enhances everything you put it in.
It really does. Bananas. I go top here. I can eat bananas.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, it depends on how ripe the banana is.
Yeah.
Like if a banana gets too ripe, I can't eat it alone. The only way I'll eat overripe bananas is if it's mixed in like cake or bread.
Banana bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bananas, for me, it's always been kind of a texture thing. Like, it has to be, like, the perfect texture. If it's too soft or if it's too firm, it's ruined.
Yeah, you gotta get it to where it's, like, perfectly yellow throughout with barely any spots on it.
Yeah.
That's the best way to eat a banana by itself.
Yeah, I would love to meet a person who says, actually, I prefer mushy bananas.
Oh, there's probably plenty. There is probably plenty.
You're probably the same people who wipe standing up. Are probably the same people who like mushy bananas. Or people who pour the milk before the cereal. Anyways, tangent.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what this is.
Those look like peppers, but I don't think they're peppers.
I mean, it could be peppers.
Like bell peppers, maybe?
Well, bell peppers is right here.
Oh, okay. Those are bell peppers.
And then there's like hot peppers right here, I believe.
What kind of hot? Again, hot peppers aren't really all the same though. Just because.
Nah, but like we can assume maybe these are like Scotch bonnet because they're red.
I don't know. There's some of this shit I like don't know.
Yeah, I can already tell I don't know a lot of these. But anyways, I think this is blackberry.
Is that a blackberry?
Or maybe these are blackberries.
No, those are blackberries. So then what the heck is that?
I wonder what these
are those grapes?
No, I think grapes.
Those might be grapes.
Like green or not green grapes.
Purple grapes.
Yeah, it could be. I've never been a fan of grapes.
I like grapes actually. I mean, they're not like my go-to. I actually prefer green grapes to the purple ones, but I'd probably say, yeah, they're good. I like them. I will say this though: don't put grapes in a fruit salad because that shit is gross.
Cherries.
So just regular, plain old cherries with the cyanide in them. I
do like the flavor. Sometimes the texture. Oh wow! Sometimes the texture can be a little off-putting, but I do like the flavor.
Yeah, I'll say great probably, just because sometimes the way you have to eat them can be annoying too. Like having to take one bite and then spitting out the pit is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this?
I wonder what we got here.
Some kind of. Is this another kind of nut or something? From what I'm looking at,
they look like Buckeye nuts.
What is? Isn't that like an Iowa thing or Idaho?
It's a Midwest thing. Well, it's primarily also here in Ohio. I actually got a Buckeye tree outside, but the thing is, you can't eat these because they're poisonous. Well, so actually, let me look.
Which state is the Buckeye state again? Is that Ohio? Okay, sorry. Yeah. You can tell I'm not American because I don't know this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Yeah, they're poisonous nuts.
Maybe try like reverse image search just to see if it knows what it is.
Hmm. Well, I'm on Firefox with this, so
No.
it doesn't really.
Well, here I could probably try. Maybe. Hopefully it's not so zoomed in I can't see shit.
Oh, I think it gave out the name. Chitang.
Shit.
Chitang. Chtaigene.
Oh wait, retain? Hang
Actually,
on.
I can quickly look up what these was.
It's a chestnut.
Oh,
They're
chestnut?
chestnuts.
Oh,
Yeah, they're chestnuts.
chestnuts.
Châtain is French for chestnut.
Hmm. I've heard chestnuts are pretty good, especially like when Gordon Ramsay used them in like his mushroom filling for a Christmas beef Wellington.
I've heard
Guess it
they're
might be good.
best.
I've never had chestnuts. So.
Me neither. I've heard they're great when your nose is being nipped. So then what the
So
heck?
this thing is an aubergine or
Aubergine?
aubergine, and
Oh.
then this thing is a carambole.
Yeah, an aubergine is an eggplant.
Carambole, I think, is what this is, which I've
wait,
never had.
what is a
either of
courgette?
those things.
Oh, a courgette is a zucchini. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, aubergine, that's just the French word for eggplant.
So I was right. It's to a degree eggplant. Eggplant I'll put in good because best if you have them fried.
What was the other one you said?
This one a carambole. Carambole.
Carambola.
Carambola.
Yeah, no, I have never seen these before in my life.
So the next thing we got is a citron.
A
Which
citron.
almost looks like a lemon grapefruit hybrid.
Well, yeah.
Which I've never had, so.
Yeah, me neither.
Alright, then we have
That's a pumpkin.
What's called something else, a citrollet or citrollet.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's just the French word for pumpkin.
Yeah, probably.
So, I mean, pumpkin. I mean, I've only ever had pumpkin pie. I don't really know what else you'd use.
I've had like pumpkin cookies. I've had pumpkin cake. It's okay. I'll go decent.
Yeah. Is this specifically a tangerine, or is it just
It's
like
clementine? I think is what this is. At least whenever I right click, go to open image and tab,
yeah,
that's what it says.
Yeah, so it's mandarin oranges.
Huh, mandarin oranges?
Yeah, like the little ones that are like nice.
I like them. I like them. I've had them plenty of times. Of course, I prefer the bigger oranges.
Yeah, I mean they're great for just like a little like pick me up kind of thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Is this just a lemon or?
No, it's called a coin.
Oh, what?
With a G at the end.
Coin. Oh, is this a pear?
No, it might be a pear.
It's a quince. Do you know what a quince is?
I've heard of quince, but I've never had it.
So I've never heard of a quince, so
can't say. Concombres, which I'd assume these are like Spanish or Mexican cucumbers.
I'm gonna assume it's
because they look like cucumbers. But if it's considered cucumber, I'm gonna go top tier for cucumber. I like them in sandwiches. Of course, you can pickle them and make pickles, or you just put some in water, and it's really good.
Salads, they're great for salads.
That too. Now, I've become a big cucumber fan for the past nearly year.
I like cucumbers, but not in my mouth.
I take back what I said at the beginning. Anyways.
These are pickles.
Cornichones, which are pickled baby pickles.
So pickles.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
which pickles? Top tier.
Yes.
I love me some pickles.
Yes, I love pickles. Are these dates?
Yeah, these are dates.
Not the biggest fan of dates, honestly.
Me neither. So going decent.
Are those
Okay,
not?
durian.
That's
The
a durian.
stank fruit. It's the
I
stanky fruit.
I've never had a durian.
I've never had durian. I don't know if I'd want to consider it. And once you open it, it
I'm questioning. I
stinks.
don't even. Are durians like even like legal to like import?
Well, they're not legal to have at public transport areas or airports because of the smell.
Yeah. So like, how would I guess by shipping containers probably how they would get to like North America
Probably.
because these things grow in like Asia, don't they? I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure. We have figs.
That's a fig.
Yep.
Okay.
Which, of course, I've only know about figs through Fig Newton cookies, which I love.
I mean, I'm not overly familiar with figs. I've had them by strawberries.
I'd actually like to have figs
Yeah,
as a normal thing.
those are strawberries.
Yeah, strawberries. So
Top tier.
strawberries, I love the flavor. Not the biggest fan of the texture.
I don't mind the texture, honestly. Like I don't mind it. I think I don't know. I've always loved strawberries. And are those raspberries? Those look like just raspberries.
Called framboise.
Framboise.
Probably French for raspberries, I bet.
Yeah, framboise. Yep, those are raspberries.
Raspberries, I'll go top tier as well because especially mix it with chocolate. That's almost a perfect combo. I think this is dragon fruit, which I have never had, but I hear it's really good.
I've had dragon fruit. Honestly, it's good, not great. Just it looks so cool, but like the flavor is just kind of it's very mild and very kind of just like not overly sweet. It's just kind of there.
Passion fruit, which I've never had.
I mean, obviously, I've had like passion fruit flavored things, but I've never had passion fruit, so I have no idea.
And then this
is that a kumquat? No,
it's a goyave.
A goyave.
Yeah,
goyave. Which is it's a commune, and I don't think that's right. Oh, it's a guava.
A guava. Which
why don't you take a French tier list here? Freaking, well, you never had guava, or well, I guess I've never had the guava fruit because I've had again guava flavored things, but I can't speak for guava itself.
Mm-hmm. And I know I've seen these before. I forget what they're
That's a pomegranate.
Pomegranate.
Yeah.
Which I have never had it, but I want to try it so bad.
I'd say good, personally. I'm not like overly familiar with pomegranates, but from every time I've had a pomegranate, I've been like, this is nice.
Mm-hmm.
And those are
let's double check.
Cranberries?
Well, they're, in the French term, I guess, are croissants.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure those are cranberries.
But cranberries, I've never really had.
Well, it's
I know that's crazy, but
never been on your period. I would say I'd probably say good for cranberries. Honestly, are those sweet peas?
No,
those aren't peas.
They're haricot.
Haricot.
Haricot. They're probably French for like
an edible bean. So they are just called.
Maybe a green bean.
White pea beans.
Which
navy beans. They're called navy beans.
Oh, we have kiwi finally. Something we know.
Yes, I love kiwis.
I've never been the biggest fan of kiwi.
Is it like the outside that like puts you off, or is it like
the texture and the flavor is a little bit odd?
I love kiwis. Yeah, you just hack the legs off, get the head, and you just get the delicious meat. Oh, we were talking about the fruit. I was talking about the bird.
We have.
It looks like raspberry in a tree.
Well, they're called lychee in
Oh,
France.
lychee.
I know there's
I
lychee nuts, so
I've had lychee, like not on its own, because like I don't know, it's like a thing in like a lot of like the kind of like like the Asian markets and stuff. Like I think specifically Korean, you get like the lychee things, and they're good, but I don't know if I can really speak for lychee on their own.
all right, next up, I want to
Is this just
assume this is
a
this is a
normal orange?
mandarin orange, regular mandarin orange, which is great.
Yeah, no, oranges are awesome.
I'll go ahead and put normal orange at the top,
Yeah,
like the standard orange I love. I believe this is
mango.
peach or mango. Wow,
I think the neck it's
mango. I don't think I've ever eaten mango alone. I've had it in sauce, and it was pretty decent.
I'd say I don't know. For me, I'm not really necessarily the biggest fan of mangoes on their own. Like the flavor to me is just kind of off. Assuming that is
I
a
want to
mango.
assume this is a melon,
Oh, it's a cantaloupe specifically, I think.
regular cantaloupe melon, which I've had a couple times, and it was good.
Yeah, it's not something I would reach for necessarily.
All right, what we got? Maribel.
Maribels?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a type of plum.
Which I've never had plum.
Yeah, no. Blackberries now.
Now we get to blackberries.
I think those can go in the top tier, honestly. I think blackberries are
Same with
fantastic.
blueberries.
Yes.
Same with blueberries, especially blueberry muffins or pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, this is a nectarine, I assume.
Yep. Nectarine. I've never had nectarine.
I would say great. I've had nectarines a couple times, and each time I like them. They've got a just nice flavor, nice texture, all that.
Yep, these are hazelnuts.
Okay. I mean, I've never had hazelnut, I don't think.
On their own, no. Obviously, I know it from Nutella.
But Nutella
The
isn't even
flavor.
real hazelnut. It's like palm oil.
Palm oil and cocoa.
Yeah, we should find like an oils tier list, like castor oil, palm oil, and rank those.
Corn, vegetable, olive, avocado.
Motor oil.
But then again, I've not had many different oils other than like palm, vegetable, canola, olive.
Motor
That's
oil.
pretty much it. Oh god. Hazelnut on its own, I've never had.
Yeah.
This
Mushrooms?
called a no.
No,
These
those
are
aren't
called noix de cajou.
Noix de cajou. Oh, they're cashews.
Oh, they're just
In that
cashews.
picture, they do not look like cashews, though.
No, they don't. But cashews, I think they're good. They're maybe one of next to walnut being up there among my least favorite nuts.
I mean, if you get them like salted and like
Yeah.
with flavors and stuff, they're nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a coconut.
Coconut top.
I've never had coconut like on its own. I've just had coconut like water and coconut milk.
And also the flavor is pretty impeccable. Well, I've had coconut shavings on like pie.
Yeah, or like I
Stuff,
guess I've had like bounty bars and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Now we have a Noi, which I
Looks
assume this is probably another hazelnut
Or
kind of thing.
is that walnut? I think that looks like a
Or
walnut.
it could be a walnut. Actually, I think it is a walnut. Walnut, I'll put in decent.
We're very smart here, folks. You can tell we're experts on this shit.
Olives. We're now at olives.
Green or black? Because that makes a difference.
Green.
I prefer black
I
olives.
guess no black. I prefer black olives too.
But green are still good. It's,
Grapefruit.
I enjoy a nice grapefruit once in a while. It's kind of, it's not like a thing you can just sit down and have. I think they're decent for what they are. Now, this is a papaya, I think.
Papaya, yep, which I've never had.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had a papaya. I don't think so. Probably not. Watermelon. That's top tier. Yes.
I actually had some watermelon a couple hours ago.
And those are some kind of pepper?
Piment peppers. Piment peppers, which I've never had.
They're chili peppers.
Yeah, I figured they'd be chili.
I
Ooh,
mean,
pistachio.
I mean, I think pistachios are. I haven't had a pistachio in a very long time, but I think I remember them being good.
All right, and
Now, that's a
then I
pear.
assume this is pear.
For
Pear, I'm not as big a fan of as I am of apples.
I would say great for pears, just because I usually like the flavor, but again, it's got to be the right. It's kind of same with bananas. It's got to be like the perfect texture.
Texture.
Yeah,
Peas. I like peas in like pot pie and like Asian dishes when they're not too mushy.
I like pea in my pot pies.
Anyways, bell
You
peppers.
you regret laying me on the stream yet?
So bell peppers, I think are great, especially if you grill them or steam them. I think particularly grilled or roasted.
Yeah. Well, they're
Good.
kind of one of these things. Like you're definitely not going to
They're a
have a bell
filler for
pepper
stuff
on their own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're like fillers for other things.
Apples,
Apples, that's a
top
top
tier.
tier.
I like
And
pretty
it
much all
really,
the apples.
it really doesn't matter what kind of apple. I guess my least favorite would be, probably yellow, just because it's so like it kind of makes my tongue feel fuzzy.
I'd say my least favorite are probably like the Fuji apples, but I love like ambrosias and Lady Pinks, Galas, Granny Smiths, all that shit.
Prunes.
I don't think I've ever had a prune.
I've never had prune. Well, technically, raisins considered a prune, but
Well, this is a raisin, I think. Looks like a raisin.
a pruno. I guess this would probably be a raisin. Raisin. I've not been a big raisin fan for years, so
I like raisins. I'd say good. I like raisins.
Let's take a look at what we got here. Raisin Blanc.
Oh, those are green grapes.
Green grapes, which
I like green grapes. I'd probably put them next to grapefruit. I think they're kind of in that realm.
Let's see. Raisin Noir. These look like giant blueberries.
Those are purple grapes. So then what the heck what the heck are these? What the heck are the ones that we thought were grapes initially?
Oh, these?
Yeah.
Cassis, so Cassis.
What is
Or Cassie.
black currant?
Okay, then never had. So
yeah. But
okay,
regular
purple grapes.
I mean, I know you're not the biggest fan of grapes, like you said, but I like them. So,
all right, and then the second to last,
it's a rhubarb.
Rhubarb. I've never had.
I've had like rhubarb. I'd say good because I've had like rhubarb pies and stuff, and they're good.
And then finally, tomato, top tier because of how versatile it is.
It's versatile, but I only like tomato in like pico de gallo, and that's pretty much it for me personally. I don't like.
Well, the best way to eat like sliced raw tomato, put a good amount of salt on it, and it takes out that acidic taste.
But
especially in a burger.
It's a texture too. For me, the texture is really what ruins tomatoes for me. Like that weird mushiness. I just don't like it.
Yeah. But speaking of tomatoes, got a can of crushed tomatoes. I'm going to be making homemade spaghetti and meatballs again tomorrow night. So that's going to be good with pork and beef meatballs.
And I'm going to be not making that because I can't cook. I can barely operate a microwave.
Well, there you go, a fruit ranking. And while we did that, we did get some album versus album stuff. Blessed Are the Sick or Black Seeds of Vengeance. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Blessed I had as my number 5 Morbid Angel album. I'm not going to say where Black Seeds is going to be because that Nile ranking's happening in a few months.
Black Seed is not my favorite Nile album.
It's not my favorite, but it is still awesome.
Oh, yeah, of course. Every Nile album is.
I would probably, for me, go Blessed Are the Sick because I think there's more memorable songs on it versus Black Seeds.
I'm going to have to agree. I mean, it's not my favorite Morbid Angel, but it's still kick ass.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ace, you dirty dog. Rust in Peace or Hell Awaits.
Oh.
Basically, my favorite album of each of those bands. I'd probably still go Rest in Peace, though.
This is a hard one for me. You have my favorite Megadeth album versus my second favorite Slayer album, but I'm a bigger Slayer fan than I am a Megadeth fan, so I'll probably say Rust in Peace, though. If it was Seasons in the Abyss, I would have gone with Slayer, because that's my favorite Slayer album.
All right, so what were some of the metal ones you had for tier?
Well, I have literally made this one just today, a metal vocalist tier list for, because we did death
all-around vocalists.
But is it just, mostly like traditional metal and thrash vocalists on this one.
Alrighty.
And I also did one for Finnish bands.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
Yep, so here I'll send them.
Hey, what's up, Tyler?
Both over to you. Yeah, what's up, Tyler?
What's up, Aaron?
What's up, Aaron? Here, let me quickly. Have we done a thrash bands tier list on one of these streams?
I don't think we have, which is surprising.
You know what? Because I have one of those too, so I could send that one over real quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I sent you all.
All right, so metal vocalists, mostly thrash and classic metal. So kicking things off with Udo Darkschneider from Accept and Udo. I mean, he was good for what he was doing in Accept, but if I'm going to be real, Mark Tornillo is far better.
Yeah, I should have added Mark Tornillo. I'm an idiot. Yeah,
Mark Tornillo. If you would have had Mark Tornillo, I would have put him in Fantastic.
I completely forgot about him. Honestly, I should have put him. I'll put him on after the stream.
But yeah, Udo, I'll put him in good.
I do like him because he's got that kind of, Bon Scott kind of sleaze rasp to his vocals, but he's not my favorite.
But like a thrat, like a little bit speed metal-esque.
Yeah.
In his style. Anyways, Joey Belladonna, Anthrax, top
tier. Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the best thrash vocalists, period, because it's like you could almost call him like the first true melodic vocalist thrash really had in terms of singing more like a melodic singer would over top of fast, aggressive music.
Yeah. Like he's really...
And I said, too, it's like back then in the 80s and early 90s, he sounds a lot like Steve Perry from Journey. Yeah. Nowadays, he sounds closer to Dio.
Yeah.
Which is kind of impressive.
I feel like he kind of paved the way for a lot of vocalists because he's really kind of more like a power metal vocalist if you really think about it, but he's in a thrash band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you could look at him as like a Godfather power metal vocalist.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Speaking of Anthrax, I forgot Neil Turbin. I forgot so many guys. I just realized I forgot Neil Turbin. But we also have John Bush as well.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'd put John Bush in the top tier as well. I think he's like one of the best like classic metal vocalists.
So next up,
John Bush.
Oh, it is John Bush?
Yes, it's yes. Why did you guys say John Bush?
I couldn't tell for a second because I didn't see his full face. John Bush, I don't know if I'd put him in top tier. Like his stuff in early Armored Saint was great. And then obviously, through age, his voice shifted a little bit.
Well, it hasn't
but also, like I was never the biggest fan of his stuff in Anthrax apart from Sound of White Noise.
Yeah, I mean he just joined the band at the wrong time.
Yeah, wrong time to be in Anthrax. If he was in the band now, then he'd be a good fit. But Joey's still better.
He's definitely better than Neil Turbin, though. That's for sure.
Oh, easily. Ozzy.
Okay, he's.
This is hard.
Yeah,
this is hard because he's almost like the easiest vocalist to copy.
Yeah,
but it's distinctive and it's great. Like Sabbath, when he was going really high in the register on songs.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the 70s and then throughout the 80s and in the early 90s, he couldn't do it, but he still sounded great. Now, of course, in the last 10 years,
he's not sounded good.
It's not sounded great, but he still doesn't sound bad. Obviously, he does need studio trickery to help him out now. But I'm still going to put him in Fantastic.
He's such a tricky one for me because I guess like objectively speaking, he's probably not like a classically trained singer by any
Oh
means.
no.
But I
Oh
guess if
no.
we're judging him just based off his whole, I guess yeah, because it's so iconic. I guess you can't really put it any lower than fantastic, just because. Yeah,
Hmm. And then speaking of legends, Dio top tier.
arguably the best male vocalist of all time.
It's definitely between he, Bruce, and Halford. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, like dude,
It's definitely between those
everything
two.
is
And you
fantastic.
wouldn't be wrong. And you wouldn't be wrong if you picked any of them as the best.
Yeah, no, because I mean his
So
stuff
there
in
you go.
Rainbow, fantastic. Sabbath, fantastic. Solo stuff, fantastic.
Yep.
And we also have Tony
Tony
Martin.
Martin. I go top tier with Tony Martin.
Honestly, yeah, he's such an underrated vocalist.
So underrated. And like, you know, Headless Cross and Tear, arguably the two most underrated Sabbath
Yeah,
albums.
no, they are. And dude, he has such a fantastic range, and yeah, he's a fantastic
He's
vocalist.
almost like a hybrid of Glenn Hughes and Dio.
Yeah,
A little bit, because he can do like the really high notes of a Glenn Hughes, but he has the dramatic delivery at times of Dio.
yeah. Like, dude, his vocal performance on When Death Calls, that's like one of the best Sabbath vocal performances. Oh,
Devil and Daughter, where he's really hitting those high notes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the three Candlemass vocalists, starting with Johann.
Johann, I mean, I do like him. Well, maybe not as much the recent stuff.
Yeah,
But like
recent.
Epicus, his vocal performance was great, but
I'd put
I'll
him
put him
in.
in fantastic.
I'd put him a bit lower, personally. Maybe
Maybe
great.
great.
Just because the new stuff, he doesn't sound bad, but his voice has definitely
No.
shifted,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't like it as much as he used
Whereas
to.
on Epicus, he had a dramatic delivery.
Yeah. Well, also
which
to
I
me,
loved.
like I do respect him a lot, but to me, he isn't really the voice of Candlemass either, because
The voice is Messiah,
yes,
who goes top tier.
especially it's insane when you consider like he was 19 years old when they recorded Nightfall.
Yeah,
Like,
very young.
he was literally just a kid, and he belts out one of the best performances of all time.
Mm-hmm. And a great frontman to boot.
Yeah, the Doom Dance.
Mm-hmm. And then
And
Robert
Lowe. I'd put Robert Lowe in the top tier as well, honestly.
I've not heard enough of his stuff.
Oh, dude, have you?
I know there's so many.
Eternus?
I can't listen to everything.
You need to listen to Solitude Eternus. Like,
I know I need to listen to Solitude Eternus.
he's such an incredible singer. Really, even today, he still sounds amazing. Next up, Mark Osaguida from Death Angel.
From Death Angel. I put him in fantastic in terms of a thrash vocalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was almost in the same vein of Joey in terms of bringing in more melody into the vocals, but he still has that thrash delivery that kept it from being totally melodic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Oh boy, here we
James
go.
LaBrie.
James LaBrie. Okay. I will fully admit I still am a fan of James LaBrie, even to this day. Granted, he doesn't sound nearly as good as he once did.
Oh god,
but you take his vocal performances, I would say, from Images and Words through Metropolis 2. He was phenomenal on those albums.
Yeah, but then he got the whole
But
food
then
poisoning
after that,
thing.
yeah, then the food poisoning basically kind of killed off his voice, and now he's had to try and do different stuff.
Dude, the live shows, the new live shows, oh my god, they're so bad.
Yeah. But based on how good he was, I gotta put him in at least good.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. Like, I'm not much of a Dream Theater fan to begin with, but I've also never really been the biggest fan of James LaBrie's vocals, even when he was in his prime, quote unquote.
Oh, Paul Bailoff. Okay, objectively as a vocalist,
he's not
good. He's not good, but the energy and the passion he put into it made it great. So I'll put him in great just for the passion he put into it.
He was Thrasher's spirit animal.
He was the mascot. Now, Zetro, hot take, he's, in my opinion, the voice of Exodus. He's basically a thrash metal Bon Scott, and I love that. His vocal performances on Pleasures of the Flesh and Fabulous Disaster and Tempo of the Damned. all great performances. Yeah, obviously when he came back for Blood In, Blood Out, and Persona Non Grata, he definitely got more gremlin-ish, which could turn you off a little bit, but I didn't mind him. I thought it helped make the song sound even more maniacal.
Yeah, I mean, his
So,
vocals can definitely be a little cartoony for sure, but I think he's a good vocalist. I think for what he
yeah.
does, it's good.
And then Rob Dukes. Initially, I wasn't the biggest Rob Dukes fan, but after when I did the Exodus ranking, he's got a great hardcore bite and underrated clean vocals. He's got a pretty solid clean vocal delivery.
Yeah, I mean, I think
but he is, in my opinion, the least good Exodus vocalist, so I'll put him in good.
He's definitely more of a hardcore vocalist than a thrash vocalist.
Yeah. Mike Patton, top. I mean, the man's got one of the biggest ranges of anybody.
I mean, for me, it really depends on which Mike Patton we get, because if it's like, because he can, like, his crooning is like absolutely beautiful, but then you get his like back and I hate that so much.
And then sometimes he'll go really high to the point where he sounds like a girl, but I guess it's to show that, hey, I can go even higher than others, but also his like low clean singing's pretty good, or his like mid-range cleans are great. And then also he's got underrated growls, very underrated growls. So just based on range alone, he has to go at the top.
Yeah. Next up, this is John Arch from Fate's Warning. So he was on the first three
Fate's Warning albums. Yeah, his vocals were pretty damn great, but I think Ray Alder is the voice.
I'd put him in amazing though, honestly, just because I mean, he does sing pretty high for the most part, but I think it's a solid performance.
Now we get to the voice of Fate's Warning with Ray Alder. I put him in fantastic because he's gone through a lot of changes. Like first album, he was doing like power metal high notes. Now, obviously, over the years, he's made his range go down to where he doesn't go high anymore, but he's more tuneful.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I definitely go fantastic for Ray
Alder. I like Ray Alder a lot. All right, next up, this is Eric, AK from Flotsam and Jetsam.
Which, definitely, his vocals are definitely an acquired taste.
I'd say he's kind of in that like Joey Belladonna, where he's kind of like a power metal type vocalist in a thrash band.
To a degree.
I'd probably say I like his vocals a lot. Like, yeah, he can be a bit odd, but I think
much. Yeah.
For what he does, it suits Flotsam and Jetsam pretty well.
Oh, the late great Paul Di'Anno.
Rest in peace.
I go amazing.
Yeah.
Granted, it's more of a punky delivery, but he can croon in a punky sense, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, come on, his vocals are so iconic too. Like,
but unfortunately, not as iconic as the air raid siren Bruce.
Yeah. I think Bruce even nowadays he sounds pretty good. Like especially
even Bruce nowadays still sounds good,
especially after the whole throat cancer thing. Like,
and the fact that he can still belt it out when he can is really impressive. Yeah, he doesn't sound nearly as good as he did years before, but he still sounds good.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Blaze Bailey.
Here's the thing.
He's not bad. It's just his delivery just didn't fit Maiden.
Like I think he's a good singer. He is
a good singer.
He was just such the wrong singer for Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
I'd say I think him great because from stuff I've heard from him outside of Iron Maiden, he sounds really good.
Oh, and now we're getting into God territory with Halford.
Yep. I mean, again, like the holy trinity of metal vocalists, pretty much there. Dio, Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson.
Yep. Now for the most controversial one, King Diamond.
Okay, I used to not be into King Diamond at all because the high register vocals, but over time I have grown to really, really, really appreciate them. But it's not something I can listen to like all the time because it's like kind of like one of those things where I listen to like one Merciful Fate album or one King Diamond album and I'm done. I've gotten my fill of the falsetto. I don't need any more. But I put him in fantastic still, just because he's amazing.
I mean, for me, I would go top tier personally. I know a bunch of people disagree with me, but I love his falsetto because he sounds like a ghost. But his other facets of his range are fantastic too, like his standard cleans.
A little bit.
Yeah, he's a solid growler, but also his like mid-range cleans. Like you listen to his cleans at the start of the song Melissa, they're really tuneful.
Yeah, like his
But
normal.
I'll meet in the middle. I'll put him in
Yeah,
fantastic, even though I would personally put him in top tier because I love him so much. But yeah, Mila Petroza, creator for a
oh,
thrash vocalist, he definitely has a lot of that like in between black metal and death metal kind of style.
yeah.
More black metal, like especially Endless Pain, where he was straight up black metal, and then Pleasure to Kill onward, like it's almost like that in between all three styles.
And then you get to Endorama, and it's like, what is going on?
But thankfully, since Violent Revolution to now,
Yeah,
he's back to his old
he
ways.
still sounds
Okay,
good.
amazing. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I agree with that.
Oh boy, Dave
David Mustard Chain.
Mustaine. Okay, there's a cutoff when it comes to
Yes.
Mustaine's vocals. Like after Endgame, not that good.
No.
My
Yeah.
favorite vocal performance of Mustaine would either be Peace Cells, Rust in Peace, or Countdown to Extinction.
I'd say probably, yeah, I feel like,
I'll go good because he was never great
no.
in my mind, but
Like,
he was solid for a
again,
long time.
he like Ozzy or, Paul Bailoff, he's not a classically trained singer.
No, in fact, he
Like,
basically took over vocals out of necessity.
like objectively, I guess he's a bad vocalist, but his early stuff, it was charming at least.
Yeah. James Hetfield. I'm torn between top tier and fantastic. I am
know.
really torn because like his thrash delivery from back in the day was
Pure
incredible.
venom.
Absolute venomous. And then his clean vocals. He's my favorite clean vocalist in the sense of like I can if I sing to myself, I can sing within his range.
Yeah.
So I'm really torn between top tier and fantastic because we
I will-
obviously said arguably the best thrash vocalist of all time.
Well,
For his style.
arguably, I think Joey Belladonna is probably the best thrash vocalist, but
Well, better overall singer, but in terms of like a thrash delivery, it's Hetfield.
well, I don't know. There's a bunch.
For me.
There's a bunch of really good thrash vocalists, though. But anyways,
But then, of course, when he obviously shifted towards a more melodic style, he's amazing at melodic vocals.
I mean, I will say, I think
Like it's definitely on a gruff side, but he can still croon.
I will say the newer Metallica stuff. I don't think his vocals have aged the best, but he doesn't sound bad. But
I would say honestly, no. I think they've aged very well, especially 72 seasons like Lux Eterna when he's hitting high notes for the first time in decades. I was like, holy shit, James sounds arguably the best he's ever sounded in terms of exploring his range.
I'll compromise and say fantastic personally. Yeah. I mean, if you want to put him in the top tier, I was
torn, but
moms.
But definitely comparing him to like Dio, Halford, Dickinson, it's no contest.
Yeah, no. He doesn't have like as much of a range because like even when he does like the more harsh versus the more clean, he's kind of still very much in the same spectrum.
Yep, I didn't even have to say anything.
No.
There you go. Sorry, Vince Neil. Lemmy.
Again, objectively not a good singer, but
that delivery, it's
so iconic. And even to
I love how he can even add a tinge of melody to his style.
He can, and even on like because like he even is capable of like being emotional too.
1916.
Yes, this my god, it's like the saddest fucking song ever made. His vocals are beautiful on that. Well, yeah, one of Bobby
Blitz.
I love Bobby's vocals. Yeah. Dude,
Bobby's vocals.
He's just such a badass. He literally had a stroke on stage.
The same.
And rebounded.
All these years later.
Yeah.
All these years later, he sounds exactly the same as he did back in the 80s. And the guy's almost 70 years old.
Like, honestly, in terms of, like, thrash vocalists, I feel like Bobby is, like, maybe top
4.
Top 4.
Yeah, with Joey, Chuck, and Hetfield.
Chuck is a thrash vocalist?
Chuck Billy.
Oh, Chuck Billy. I thought you were saying Chuck Schuldiner.
No, not Chuck Schuldiner.
Chuck
Phil Anselmo. He has to go at the top.
Yeah, dude.
Again, the guy's got one. Again, kind of like Mike Patton. He could do it all. and do phenomenal with it.
He can do like thrash vocals. He can do like
He can do death metal. He can do black metal. He can do
metal.
Rob Halford.
And
he can do sludge.
His ass off.
Absolutely. I mean,
dude, his performance on Planet Caravan, the cover, it's so beautiful.
And then I would say maybe my favorite vocal performance he ever did in terms of melody would be Cemetery Gates.
Yes, dude.
He went through all of his range on that song.
Dude, the end part where him and Dimebag are like competing against each other to see
competing with the high notes on the guitar and the vocals, like that is such an iconic moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And even still to this day, Phil sounds great even if he can't hit the high notes anymore.
It definitely sounds a little more gruff, but he still sounds great.
But he still sounds great, especially that new Scour album exploring death metal and black metal vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to see how he's going to do live in 2 months when I see Pantera and Amon Amarth. That's going to be a killer. Yeah. Bobby Liebling, Pentagram. Objectively not amazing, but very good at the style he delivers.
I'd probably say amazing or great, somewhere in there. He's got this kind of bluesiness. I know, dude. Like, congrats to he literally became a meme overnight. And
yes,
yeah. I mean, it's great to see Pentagram finally blowing up after 50 years of putting out music. Kind of insane, but
Jeff Tate, Queensryche, objectively, he has to go in the top tier.
Yeah.
Objectively. Because, again, huge range. And granted, say what you will about him as a person, which I've said a lot of shit about him over the years.
Say what you will about
some dumbass things. Yeah, back in like the glammy look. But objectively, he still sounds amazing. All these years later.
Yeah, no, he is, again.
And he's kind of like an American Bruce Dickinson to an extent.
Yeah, kind of. Definitely.
Because he can explore every bit of his range and do great, whether it be the big, high, power metal-esque notes, or say in a song like Silent Lucidity where it's more mid to low, and it's beautiful. So yeah, I have to go with top tier for Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Rind, Sacred Reich.
I kind of like Hetfield Jr., I'd say a little bit.
I would say more like a combination of Hetfield and Roger Murray from Agnostic Front.
Well, he's like
he also kind of does that ooh kind of
he's like
thing.
Okay, he's Roger. Like if James Hetfield was a hardcore vocalist to a degree.
Yeah, hence why I said Roger Murray from Agnostic Front.
Yeah. I agree.
So
with
he
that.
sounds like Hetfield meets Roger, which it's not my favorite.
Yeah, no, the hardcore.
Well, at least in the early days, whereas like on like the new album Awakening, it's definitely a lot different. Like he's exploring more.
Yeah,
I'll go good.
Yeah, he's not my favorite, honestly.
Nah.
Biff Byford from Saxon.
I go fantastic.
Yeah, even today he still sounds really good for being 72.
Yep.
Klaus
Meine, top tier. He still sounds great all these years later too.
Honestly, I agree.
I mean, just holy hell. Good old Max Cavalera. Okay. Obviously, he's gone through a lot of different styles of his vocals over the years. Like, early on with Sepultura, kind of trying to do like thrashy death metal.
And then the early stuff will keep like more divisions, kind of more the black metal type vocals a little bit.
And then switched over to like the classic delivery we remember him for, the death thrash style of like Beneath the Remains and Arise. Then he kind of mixed it with like a hardcore bite on Chaos AD and Roots.
Yeah.
And he kind of kept that style for like the first several Soulfly albums. But like recently, he just sounds more feral now. Like if they listen to the Cavalera re-recordings of Morbid Visions and Schizophrenia, he sounds fucking feral. I'm going to go great for Cavalera.
Yeah. I will say again, like objectively, he's not like a great vocalist, but I will say a problem I have with him sometimes his cadences feel very off.
Yeah, because obviously,
the
accent
and the language barrier kind of thing too. I should have included Derek Green again. I literally made this just a few hours ago, so I'm still gonna add a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff. But I think Derek Green
And
is
of course
like
we'll bring up, and
vocalist.
after we do this, I'll bring up some vocalists that are definitely needing to be on here.
Tom Araya.
Tom Araya.
I'll be honest.
Legendary high notes back in the 80s.
I'd probably say good.
But after that, not so much.
I've never been the biggest fan of Tom's vocals. Honestly, he's just kind of shouting. He doesn't really have much melody or anything to his vocals. He's kind of just shouting. He's easily the weakest link in Slayer, without doubt. Yes, I know.
Tom Angel Ripper.
I tried to get a picture of his bowl cut, but I couldn't find a good one because his bowl cut is so
I'm torn between fantastic and amazing because I think he's up there. He's in my top 5 thrash vocalists.
I'd say maybe
I'll go amazing.
Amazing.
I'll go amazing because he's obviously had he's got 2 different styles. There's the low, almost kind of borders on death metal and black metal, and then there's the more shouty delivery, which we all really love, and he still does that to this day.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the new album next month.
Yes.
All right, next up,
this is John Allen from Symphony X.
I'd go fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's got a really cool range and he's not super cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, he's honestly because they're a power metal band, but he's got a very gruff kind of vocal delivery as well.
Prog, yeah.
Yeah, Chuck Billy's Willie.
Chuck Billy. This is another one like Hetfield. I'm torn between top tier and fantastic.
I would probably say with fantastic, just because again, compared to Dio or Halford, he's not up there. His vote thrash delivery, because you have just his standard kind of thrash delivery, but then you have his more
which is amazing, and then you have his death growls, which are really good. And I like his cleans. Even though it's definitely gruff cleans, but I don't mind them. I think it's almost like he's putting in more soul. Hence why his cleans sound a little gruff, because he's putting his whole heart and soul into it.
Well, I think his cleans, they're fine. I just think he's a little too gruff, especially on songs like Return to Serenity. It's just too gravelly.
Chronos.
Again, objectively not good, but iconic. So he's got that, got that Diano punkiness to his vocals, definitely. Oh boy,
Sean Killian, bottom.
Yeah.
Never really liked his vocals.
Dude, he cannot hold a note to save his life.
No.
It's insane.
And finally, Blackie Lawless.
His newer stuff, I don't think he sounds super great. I don't think, again, objectively not great, but...
Yeah.
I
for his time, he did have... I'll bump him down to good.
I mean, his early stuff, he tried to do ballads, and his voice is not suited for ballads, at all.
No.
But he has that kind of sleaziness to his vocals that really enhanced early Wasp.
Yeah.
So I have been actually making here my little list of vocalists that I've missed. So I've got Mark Tornillo, Neil Turbin, Scott Wino, and Derek Green.
All right, so other vocalists. Trying to stay within traditional metal for right now.
And thrash. We could also do thrash. I guess maybe
I would say
from Anvil could include him, even though he's not great.
But if you were to also include singers that can do cleans, you would obviously have to have Michael Ockerfeld and Dan Swano.
Yeah, I mean, if we're
John Aldara from Barren Earth and U-Tune.
Oh, fuck! I can't believe fuck! Why am I blanking on his name? I can't believe I forgot him. Warrell Dane.
Yeah, Warrell Dane. Yeah, he definitely should have been on here, and if he was on here, he would have gone top tier as well.
Yep.
Devin Townsend.
Was it Jonas from Catatonia?
Jonas from Catatonia. Yeah, he could be on here. Maynard James Keenan.
Yeah,
would be a good pick.
What about? I guess we could include Corey Taylor.
obviously Corey Taylor, and he'd be pretty high up for me.
I'd probably put him in Fantastic, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean, again, he has a huge range too.
I mean, well, I feel like his range, he has his cleans and he has his harsh vocals, and he kind of has like just that range, but they're both really good.
Phenomenal. Like even like his low cleans, and then whenever he can do super high notes, he can almost reach Mike Patton levels of high at times.
I guess Randy Blythe could be another one.
Yeah, he could, because he can do cleans, and they're pretty deep, pretty good. Well, I think he's only done cleans on one song thus far.
What about
Overlord,
Terry
which is-
Glaze?
Oh hell no!
Oh, I'm gonna include him.
I would have put. Well, you can include him, but I'd put him in trash.
Yeah, same with fuck, I forgot him. Damn it, I had one that was like really good, and I forgot. Oh yeah, Ripper Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't put him in trash, but he's not great.
Nah, Ripper I would put in good to great, like in that range. I'm thinking of other vocalists. Nick Holmes.
Oh yeah, Nick Holmes,
Paradise
Aaron
Lost.
Aaron from
Aaron Stainthorpe.
again, we're counting guys that do clean
Oh,
vocals.
Miko Katamati from Swallow the Sun. He'd be one that arguably could go top tier.
Yeah, no.
Maybe. But yeah, immediately, like, the ones I would put on top tier, yeah, Laurel Dane, Michael Ockerfeld, Dan Swano, John Aldara.
I guess
Those
we
would
could
be,
do
like, definite musts.
we could do Todd Latour from
Todd Latour from Queens right now. And I would put him top tier as well.
Yeah, no, he's
Because
fantastic.
he's basically Jeff Tate Jr.
Yeah, and he's in Crimson Glory too.
Mm-hmm. I
can't think
about D. Snyder. Twisted
Oh
Sister,
yeah, Don
which
Dokken.
he could be between top tier and fantastic as well.
Don Dokken.
Yeah, even though Don Dokken I would put pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Let's see.
Hmm.
Kevin DeBro from Quiet Riot.
Maybe
Definitely a unique voice, very unique.
influential.
Let me look back here and think of other vocalists.
Mark Shelton from Manila Road for me. And we'll also add Tim Baker from Sirafango, which I know if Necrocnick was here, he would put him in the trash tier probably. But I love Tim Baker, dude. Love
Another thrash vocalist, Riley Gale.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Which still sucks.
I guess we could do Russ Anderson too from Forbidden.
Yep.
Because he's also the best.
We could do Jeff Becerra, Possessed.
Yeah.
We could do Tom Warrior. That's another one. Korthon.
Even though to me Korthon's
but his cleans, he's got
not
cleans
great
too. I think they're good.
I don't like his vocals, honestly. They're just weird.
Well, it depends on which album, I would say.
See, boss, wouldn't count Alice Cooper necessarily as like a metal guy. To me, he's just more of a glam rock kind of artist.
And then Ian Gillan, like more proto metal.
He did the Born Again
with Sabbath, but
that was like the only metal album he sang on.
And he blew his voice out.
Yeah, his vocals. Oh god, dude, Born Again is so bad.
Other ones. I'm still looking back in my collection to find. Oh, ICS Vortex, Lars Nedland, and Vintersorg, all from Borknagar, could be on here too. Granted, even though ICS and Vintersorg both have their black metal sides, but their cleans are fantastic. Lars Nedland, the keyboardist, he's only a clean vocalist. And he reminds me a lot of John Anderson from Yes.
Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah, for the thrash.
Even though he's kind of more of a punk vocalist than anything.
Like a punk style, but he's got a solid clean delivery too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Again, just trying to
I'm mainly trying to go with vocalists who are capable of doing cleans.
What about
Howard Jones, formerly of Killswitch, and Jesse Leach.
Oh fuck! I can't believe I forgot this one. Peter Steele.
Oh yeah, and he would be top tier as well. Absolutely.
I know you're fucking someone else. How dare you, Levi? How could you do this to me?
Let's see. Still looking back here.
You know what? I'll throw on the Halloween vocalist as well.
Michael Kiske and Kai Hansen.
Well, there's a third one too. I forget his name though.
I forget his name too.
He's pretty good, honestly. I think it's Andy something.
Sounds about right.
Oh yeah, Andy Darris from Halloween. Chris Boltondahl from Gravedigger.
Yes. Hansi Kirsch from Blind Guardian.
Yeah, even though I have no idea how to spell his name.
Oh, Ron Royce from Corner for thrash.
Oh yeah. Snake from
even though Ron Royce is almost like Tom Warrior Jr. in his style, but it's still good.
We'll do Snake from Voivod too.
Yes.
Sheepdog from Razor.
Oh, Jens Kidman Meshuggah.
Fuck, why have I forgotten his name? Why have I forgotten? What's the other? Bob Reed. That's his name from Razor. Bob Reed and Sheepdog. Now I'm just trying to think of more thrash vocalists now.
Yeah, Jens Kidman Meshuggah could be on there too.
But again, is he capable of clean vocals?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Really? I haven't.
He's done clean vocals on one song, and it happens to be my personal favorite Meshuggah song, "Ritual," from the Nun EP in '94.
It's been a while since I've listened to that. I need to.
I mean, it's only a brief section where he does cleans, but his delivery on that song is almost like Lane Staley meets James Hetfield. Well, primarily I'm speaking of his vocals on like Contradictions Collapse, where he sounds like an even gruffer Hetfield. Same with Frederick Thorndahl, who did vocals on that album too.
Here I'll say.
Oh, Tommy Giles Rogers Jr. from Between the Buried and Me.
Schmear. We'll do Schmear from Destruction.
Yeah, Schmear would be in there too.
Schmear.
Both the Drake brothers, Matt and Ole from Evil.
Yeah.
John Kevill from Warbringer. One good one. Jason Tarpey from Iron Age and Eternal Champion. So he'd fit in both camps of thrash and traditional metal.
Ron Reinhardt, Dark Angel.
Yeah, and Don Dottie from Dark Angel as well.
There's a ton of metal vocalists.
Yeah, that aren't death metal and black metal specific.
Yeah,
like, the whole way through. Like we're also considering vocalists who are capable of doing clean vocals.
Yeah. What about Timo from Stradivarius? Or
yeah,
I don't know if you're a Stradivarius fan at all.
I've listened to a little bit.
I fucking love Stradivarius so much. They're one of my favorite bands ever. Timo Coltepetti, though, he's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Still looking back here for others. Oh, Troy Sanders, Brent Hines, and Braun Daler from Mastodon. There you go.
What about?
I guess you could add Rob Flynn as well.
Yeah. I'll add Rob Flynn. What about fuck, I had one and I forgot it. High on Fire dude. What's his name?
Oh, Matt Pike.
Yeah. Matt Pike. Fuck, I can't believe I forgot his name.
Oh, an interesting one. Well, damn it, I had him in my mind and now he just... Oh, Sebastian Bach.
Oh, yeah.
Which he could have arguably gone up in the top tier.
Maybe.
Or between top tier Fantastic. He can't go anywhere below Fantastic. Say what you will about him as a person nowadays, but back in his prime, my God, that guy can sing.
What about, like, Kirk Winstein from Crowbar?
Yes, Kirk.
Because he can croon beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we could do Buzzo from the Melvins, too.
Might as well. Oh, and then, of course, Lane Staley and Jerry Cantrell and William Duvall, Alice in Chains.
Yep. Which I don't
Chris
care.
Cornell. Chris Cornell's
Is he
crucially missing.
Is Chris Cornell metal though?
Yes, I consider Soundgarden to be metal.
I don't know. They were only metal on like one album for me.
I'd say at least 2.
Bad Motorfinger and
Louder Than Love.
Was Louder? I think Louder Than Love is a lot.
Louder Than Love, that was a Terry Date production. That sounds crunchy as fuck.
Okay, but yeah, no. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. I think Alice in Chains are a metal band without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Anyone
Glenn Hughes, that's one that could be on here. After all, he did do a Sabbath album, and he's done Iommi solo albums.
Yeah.
So he'd qualify, and he'd probably be top tier as well.
Eric Wagner from Trouble.
Yes. David Coverdale.
Kyle Thomas.
Yeah, from Exhorder. David Coverdale. Might as well include him. I
don't know if I'd ever consider Whitesnake a metal band, though.
They're rock band. Glam metal for a couple of albums.
I mean, glam metal, but they're like the not metal glam metal, if that makes sense.
I don't know. Some of those songs on that self-titled had a heavy fucking guitar. Still of the Night in particular, that's some heavy stuff for them. I don't know. It's kind of like wishy-washy of thinking.
We could do Dax Riggs too.
Yes,
because he can. See, I want to include again, I guess I don't know, because I was thinking Mike from I Hate God, but he doesn't really do clean vocals at all. Like he just has his sludge delivery.
Oh, Lee Dorian.
Yep,
primarily.
I love Lee Dorian's vocals. I know he's an acquired taste for sure, but I love his vocals.
Controversial one, Sully Erna from Godsmack.
No.
He has to.
No, I'm not including Sully Erna.
And he's good. He's good. He just sounds like an even gruffer Hetfield.
Dude, Godsmack is trash. How dare you even suggest
How dare you say they're trash? They're good. Out of that whole era, they're one of the better bands by a long shot.
Here, actually, while we're on the topic, I'm going to go back to doom metal for a bit. We could do Just Osborne from Electric Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Al Cisneros from Sleep and Om. Z Parks from Witchfinder General, which he's a acquired taste.
Damn it. Oh. Ouch.
You good?
Yeah, I just had to rip ass.
And it hurt?
Sometimes it takes a lot out of me. Even though people have their opinions about him, M Shadows, Avenged Sevenfold.
Yep, the poop growls.
Matt Hafey, Trivium could be on here. Oh, Brian Fair from Shadows Fall.
Tim Lamb bitch tits. Sorry, Beastus.
Tim, I think only did cleans for one song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was Nothing Left. He did the chorus. That was the only song I can recall him doing clean vocals.
There's someone else doing clean vocals?
Yeah, the bass players always were the ones doing. Like back in the day, they had Clint Norris, who did the cleans on Frail Words Collapse and Shadows Are Security, and then most of the rest, it was Josh Gilbert.
You know, while we're on the topic of 2000s metal, we could add, I guess, new metal vocalists like Jonathan Davis.
David
Surge.
Raymond, Surge,
and
Chester Bennington.
I don't know if I include Chester Bennington. Or I don't even know if I would include David Draymond, because are they metal bands?
Disturbed are.
But is
Linkin Park not as much?
So
well, okay, early on you could argue, but even at that.
Darren Malakian as well from System. Zach De La Roca.
I forget the guy, the vocalist of Mudvayne.
Oh, Chad Gray.
Chad Gray, yeah, he could be.
Yeah, he sucks.
Too.
I don't like
early
his
on, his vocals.
Early on, he sounded like, dude, it's like the M Shadows thing again, where it's like the poop grunts. Like he sounds like he hasn't had enough fiber. Like he's just shitting out a solid ball of rock. I think.
Well, mainly when he's trying to go higher, yes, but like he can like his mid range and low range is good. Similar to M Shadows, like his mid to low range is great.
He was also the singer.
Really high, it's
Well, he also did Hell Yeah, which Hell Yeah sucks. So
yeah, I will agree there. Other ones. Oh man, I think we've nailed all the big ones.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're talking about the clean.
So we can. When we're talking about vocalists capable of clean singing.
What about Joe Duplantier?
Yeah, he's done some cleans on songs.
Vocals.
There's just not all. It's just not apparent a lot. He can do them.
They're much more prominent on the last two albums for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and started even a little bit on Le Fond Sauvage as well. There was even though I mostly consider him more a death metal vocalist.
Oh, Burton from Fear Factory.
Yeah, Burton C. Bell, absolutely.
That's
Till Lindemann, Rammstein.
Yep.
Oh, Aaron just brought up a really big one. Tobias Sammet from Ed Guy and Avantasia.
Oh yeah, Tobias
Sammet in there.
For sure.
And whoever the vocalist is for Hammerfall.
I don't know, actually.
I forget his name.
Hammerfall is Josim Cans? Josim Cans?
All right, so now that we've gone through all that, let's get to the next list. Finnish metal bands.
I will say we have covered some of these bands before, but there's also some we haven't really covered.
Yeah, pretty sizable list.
Yeah.
All right, so we first begin with, was this And Oceans?
Yes. I have not familiar with And Oceans. I know they just put out like their new album, so I'll check it out, but...
Abhorrence, basically pre-Amorphous.
I think great.
Yeah, I would say great, because obviously they were very short-lived.
But they were killer.
Mm-hmm. A Dramalek. Another one kind of short. Yeah, Immolation, maybe even a little Gorguts too.
But they have albums, so...
I would probably go Amazing.
Yeah.
Amorphous, they have to go top tier.
Arguably the best Finnish metal band?
Yep, I would agree.
I mean, yeah, come on, dude.
I mean, no matter what sound they do it amazingly well. Whether it be classic death metal, death doom, mellow death metal, prog, classic metal, they can do it all.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a bad album. Even that Far Away from the Sun, I think, is okay.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's not terrible.
It's not the best, but it's not bad. But, like, I'm close to getting all their albums. I'm only missing, like, 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. I still need to get...
And I can't wait for a new album, too. It's been...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Apocalyptica. So Apocalyptica, I think, is a very unique band in the sense that they're symphonic metal, but in the other way. Like most symphonic metal bands we think of are metal bands that incorporate the orchestra, whereas Apocalyptica are more of an orchestral group that incorporate metal.
Yeah.
Like a drummer, or they just play metal riffs on the cellos. I think, honestly, they can go in amazing.
I'll be honest, I've never really been much of an Apocalyptica fan. It's just kind of not my bag.
I mean, of course, they're mostly remembered for the big hit I Don't Care with the singer of 3 Days Grace, but that's a legit very good song, objectively.
I mean, dude, Adam Gauthier is a great vocalist. I don't care what anyone says.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Even though I'm not the world's biggest 3 Days Grace fan, apart from songs, I admit he's a good singer, and he fit that song to a T.
I've got that like nostalgic love for 3 Days Grace, so you know.
Somewhat. Same with me in Breaking Benjamin to an extent.
Yeah.
Archgoat. So Blackened Death, war metal, I guess, if that's actually a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they're kind of in the war metal sound. I put them in fantastic, though, honestly, because, yeah, they're kind of war metal, but they're very groovy, they're very riffy, but I think they're
I still need to listen to Archgoat.
Listen to more
Archgoat.
Listen to Horror of Bethlehem, their debut. That's a fantastic album.
Barren Earth. So a supergroup with Amorphous, Yotun, and Creator. I still need to listen to more Barren Earth, but from what I have listened to, it's incredible. It's like prog death doom. So
Yeah,
I'll go Fantastic for the time being. I'm sure if I listened to all their stuff, I'd put them in top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Battle Beast. I've only heard a little bit of Battle Beast. It's fun. It's not really my cup of tea, but from what I've heard, it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I'll go good.
I'm not overly familiar with Battle Beast. They're kind of Sabaton-ish from what I've heard.
A little bit. Same with Beast in Black, which I'll put them in the same category.
Yeah.
Before the Dawn. I've never heard of them.
But they're like melodic gothic death doom kinda. I'm not overly familiar with their stuff though. I still need to kind of check them out.
Beharit. I have Drawing Down the Moon and it's fun.
Beharit? They're tricky because like the black metal stuff from them, like Drawing Down the Moon and stuff, is really good. The more ambient stuff I'm not overly big on, but I would probably still say great just because stuff like, Messa de Morse and stuff is fucking killer.
Mm-hmm. Behexen. I feel like hang on a second. I feel like I should know who Behexen are.
More black metal.
I'm just double checking. Okay, I know of them, but I've never heard their stuff.
I know
they're black metal, but
I'd probably say great for Behexen as well. They're solid riffy black metal.
Is this
Brynir?
Never
Brynir.
heard of them.
Not overly familiar with them either.
Same with Kane's Offering.
Yeah, they're like power metal. I'm not too familiar with them.
Children of Bodom. Okay, so we've talked about them before. I think like their 90s and early 2000s work is flawless, and Halo of Blood. Everything else, hit or miss. So I'll go great for COD.
Yeah. I mean,
now Convulse. This is a sad case. One fantastic album, and then the rest, it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I mean, I guess good just because that one album is so good.
The quality of their first album so
but incredible. The rest of their discography is just
going on. Same, I'll even say with Demigod.
Yeah, because the other two albums are not that good at all.
Demolition.
Incoming Disagreement.
Yeah, but one album, but it's a top tier death metal album.
One album, but it's really nothing special in my opinion. So, well, it's special, but it's not great.
It's precursor to like what Immolation would become,
and good Gorguts to some degree,
and Gorguts too. Yeah,
Insephirum.
I'm torn between top tier and fantastic because for folk metal, one of the best. Hell, that last album was just outside of my. It might have been in my top 30, like low, but if not, it would have been an honorable mention.
I'll be perfectly honest. I still need to dive more into Insephirim's stuff.
They're fantastic. It's like folky mellow death.
Mm-hmm.
But also they got some really cool like power metal moments in there too. Like their frontman Petrie, holy crap! Like he's got great like scream, but also in like the cleans, like it's all like rallying cries, and it's really cool. Honestly, I'm gonna put them in top tier in terms of folk metal. Fintroll, another folk metal,
much more black metal kind of folk metal. I like Fintroll.
I still need to listen to more
actually.
Fintroll.
I put them in amazing. Honestly, I like them quite a bit because they're like not like overly comical like a lot of folk metal can be. Like they definitely got that black metal edge to them, which definitely I like. So I like Fintroll.
Even though they're not really metal, but they're still an awesome band.
I mean, kinda. You could put them in like goth metal, kinda.
I would say they're more gothic rock and alternative rock. Personally, they're like a less heavier typo negative.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
like a less heavy typo.
I'd say they're probably about on par with like Evanescence in terms of like heaviness. Which
I think Evanescence is far heavier.
I feel like from what I've heard from both, they're about on par.
I don't know. I don't know, but
But honestly,
But objectively, I would put them in great.
honestly, I think they are a
Musically.
pretty good band.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Villevalo, awesome vocalist.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go. Finally, another top tier Hooded Menace. Arguably the best Death Doom band from Finland ever.
From Finland.
Yeah. In terms of overall Death Doom, I think they're a top 5 band.
I mean, Acefix
in all of Death Doom.
Acefix will forever be my number one. But,
oh, yeah. And Hooded Menace is Finnish Asphyx, but just with no thrash moments.
Asphyx.
That's how it's said, Asphyx.
It's Acefix, not Asphyx.
Acefix sounds wrong.
How Asphyx sounds wrong? We're not fixing somebody's butt, all right? We're getting asphyxiated.
Not ass, Asphyx.
You said Asphyx, all right?
Well, either or. I think that's how it's supposed to be said. Anyways.
Horna.
I still need to listen to them.
I'm torn between top tier and fantastic because honestly, I'd put them in the top tier. I fucking love Horna. They are. I don't really know what other band to compare this to outside of Finnish bands. Maybe like Marduk, but more raw. But they're incredible.
Impaled Nazarene.
Weird, punky, kind of crust punky black metal. I'd say amazing, honestly. I am going to be ranking them on my channel, so I like them though. They're a really cool band, I think. Very horny, but very cool.
Insomnium, top tier.
In terms of Melodeath?
In terms of Melodeath, they're arguably the best in Finland in terms of consistency.
You vulgar person. How dare you?
Asshole fix.
Yeah, sounds like you. I can use one of those. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
But anyways, like Insomnium, probably the most consistent Melodeath band out of Finland, and they play the kind of Melodeath I love the most. That like heavier but more somber sounding Melodeath.
I mean, they're basically, I call them, Swallow the Sun, but not doomy.
Yeah. All right, next up, even though they're not Finnish,
yes, I just realized that they're based in Denmark.
With John Aldara being from Faroe Islands, but regardless, they go top tier.
Yeah, I'll have
both albums are incredible.
I'll have to remove them later because technically they're not Finnish, but whatever.
Yeah, Danish.
Kalma.
I've only listened to a little bit of Kalma.
I'd put Kalma in. I honestly, to me, they're like the better Children of Bodom, so I'd probably say amazing. They're very consistent. I actually like them quite a bit. They're like I said, the better Children of Bodom.
Korpiklani, another folky metal band. I still need to dig further into them, but I hear it's like they're a love-hate band. Like, I think there's more love for them than there is hate. Like, I think the only reason people really don't like Korpiklani is because I guess their quality has slipped recently.
I still need to
dive more. I'll probably go great.
I still need to dive more into Korpiklani, but from what I've heard, I like
Crypts, which I still need to listen
to. Yeah, me too. I mean, from what I've heard, they're basically another Finnish Acefix, pretty much. Lord Vicar, a band I should be familiar with, but I'm really not familiar with. Reverend Bazaar, the guy from Reverend Bazaar, his in the modern Reverend Bazaar.
Hey, what's up, John?
Hello.
Lordy, again, not really metals, more like hard rock, but
hard rock, heavy metal, kind of
in that weird middle line.
They're okay. They're a band.
I've never been a big fan.
They make music.
Yeah, Moon Sorrow.
Yes,
they go top tier. Folk, black. Basically, kind of like Finnish Bathory, but no clean vocals.
Even a little bits like prog in there too and stuff. They're amazing bands.
I mean, we need a new album. It's been 9 years.
Yes.
Mors Principum EST, which they got a new album. Which they got a new album coming out. Which I still have yet to listen to this band.
Yeah, me too. I know they're like, again,
I'm definitely going to be reviewing their new album when it drops. Nightwish, the biggest of all of them. All right, so to preface, I like the Taria stuff. The Tarja stuff is pretty great. Some of the Flora Jansen era I do enjoy, but it's not really my style. I'll go grade for Nightwish.
I still honestly need. I still kind of want to get into Nightwish again. It's this style like symphonic metal is not really my bag for the most part, but I can respect it definitely.
Yeah, like everything from the Tarja era, like early on from there until 2004, really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Norther, which I've never listened to.
Me neither.
But I hear they're kind of like another better Children of Bodom.
Yeah, I've heard they're a bit more folky than Children of Bodom too.
Omnium Gatherum. I've only heard one album, and it was really good. I'm gonna go fantastic for Omnium Gatherum.
I haven't heard much from Omnium Gatherum.
Yeah, basically they're very, very similar to Insomnium.
Just that very kind of depressive, kind of melodic death metal.
Kind of. Well, I would also argue they're also more epic too. Like they got a more epic style. They're like a more epic Insomnium, less somber, more epic.
Yeah,
and Swano even contributed vocals to some of their stuff.
Sandwano,
2000.
Alonzi Pazuzu.
I have heard of this band. I've heard a song. They are fucking wacky.
They're okay.
They are wacky.
I'm not an overly huge fan of them. Like they're just weird black metal. Yeah, they're an odd band.
Or I might be thinking of another band that has a similar name. Whatever. Oz. Never heard of them.
I'm not familiar with them. They're like they're like one of like the first like Finnish heavy metal bands, kind of heavy metal, power metal, kind of in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
Pertinence. I'd say amazing, dude. I think in terms of like Finnish death metal, they're one of the few like Finnish death metal bands that are consistent. There's not a major drop off after their first album, like with Demigod or Convulse.
Reverend Bazaar.
For on this list, I'd put them in the top tier because, like, in terms of like doom metal, they are one of like the best.
I still need to listen to them.
Dude, Reverend Bazaar is so good.
Ripicolu. Even though all their material is demos, from what I've listened to, it's pretty nasty death doom.
Yes,
I'll go great.
I put them in fantastic. Like, dude, most of
I'll
Ceremonia.
meet in the middle. We can go amazing.
Most of Ceremonia. Oh my god, that demo is amazing. Even though it's basically an album, it's considered a demo.
Rotten Sound. Top tier grindcore. I'm going top tier for Rotten Sound. From what I've listened to, which is 2 albums, holy shit, they're fucking feral and brutal.
I'm not overly big on Rotten Sound. I've only heard like a few of their songs. I'm not the biggest grind fan, so.
Well, the way they do their grind, there's a good amount of groove in their style of grind, and they also play with the HM2 tone, which is always a welcome addition. Sargeist.
I have Horn in the top tier, so I'd go top tier for Sargeist as well, because, yeah, it's basically the dude from Horna. It's his other band, and they're fucking incredible black metal. Same with Satanic War Master. The new Satanic War Master album, fuck, that album is so good. The top tier, dude. They're fucking incredible.
I still need to listen to Satanic War Master.
Oh, yeah, check out Opferblut. Opferblut is a really good album.
And then another band I need to listen to more stuff from is Sentenced.
Sentenced is an odd one because I
hear like their death metal and mellow death stuff is amazing, and then when they went gothic metal, meh. Like to meet in the middle, we can go amazing for Sentenced.
Well, yeah, because like the first 2 albums are really, really strong, and then the third album is good but very uneven, and then after that, it's kind of like, okay, this is just getting into weird territory.
Shape of Despair, who I still need to listen to.
I'd probably say good or great for Shape of Despair. They're not my go-to when it comes to funeral doom, but they're a really good band. Skepticism. They gotta go in the top tier for me. I mean, dude.
I still need to listen to more.
Dude, what are you doing? Listen to
I'm picky about funeral doom bands.
Listen to Stormcrow Fleet. Listen to it, dude. Sonata
Arctica. I'm torn between fantastic and amazing because from what I have listened to of Sonata Arctica, I really, really liked.
Yeah, no, same. I'd probably say,
I'll for now go with amazing.
yeah, fair. Spiritus Mortis.
Mortis.
Fantastic doom metal. I love them. They're incredible.
Stradivarius.
I'd put them in the top tier for me personally. In terms of like the European power metal, they're probably my favorite. I love the Stradivarius. I love you.
Swallow the Sun. That's another easy top tier. Even the new album, it's still good, but it's vastly different. But everything from Moonflowers on back. Like, holy shit, that is such an incredible run.
Yeah.
And I still like stuff off of the new album. Mainly What I Have Become. I still listen to that song because it's such a catchy song.
Yeah, I'm not big on the new album at all. But, dude, they're a killer band.
And who knows if we're going to get another album from them.
Yeah.
Just because, like, as Ricky said, when he got to meet them when Swallow the Sun played in Texas recently, he asked Uha, the main songwriter, or Yuha, I forget how Finnish names are hard.
Yes.
But Ricky asked him about a possible new album. He said he's not even sure if there's going to be another album because he always would say every album they put out is always seemingly going to be their last. It's really just depending on how he's feeling and such. Because obviously, had Aaliyah Stanbridge from Trees of Eternity not passed away, you could argue that Songs from the North would have been the last album they would have ever done.
Yeah.
And when she passed, that inspired the themes of When a Shadow is Forced into the Light. And I think there still would have been another album after that, and he was maybe going to go into a more positive direction. But then COVID hit, and that really affected him hard, hence why he wrote Moonflowers. Is arguably the darkest and most angry album of their catalog. And then obviously when he was finally feeling better and wanted to go into like something sounded more hopeful, that's where we get Shining. So that explains why the album's so different from everything else, because it was a more hopeful sounding album considering his feelings at the time. But really the main issue I had with the album was the production.
Way too clean.
Really polished, and that was because they went with the producer from Bring Me the Horizon for some reason.
Which why you would do that?
and yet it was still mixed by the Jens Bogren people, which is weird. So if they do make another album, go back to Jens Bogren like you had been for years.
If they do make another album,
or hell, even Andy Sneap, I think would do the album justice.
If they do make another album, I'm so curious as to what that would sound like.
Like maybe it'd be like more positive sounding than Shining, but be still aggressive.
Imagine they just put like a pop punk album or something.
I don't think it's going to go that far. Anyways, Theragothon, who you still get at me for not listening to.
I'd say fantastic just because, again, one album, but they're the Grand Days of Funeral Doom, so how can you not,
Teresa's, so symphonic folk metal.
I still need to get more into Teresa's.
I need to get into them more, but I've seen some of their stuff live, and they look like they have a good time playing shows.
Tyranny is up next. More Funeral Doom. Fantastic.
Never heard of him.
I'd say fantastic. Short discography, but dude, it's so dark and oppressive, and I love it. Unholy. Classic
Weird Death Doom band. Very avant-garde Death Doom, but like I was listening to From the Shadows in full recently. Holy crap, that is a bizarre yet awesome album.
Yeah, I'd say fantastic. Yeah.
Yep. Waltari, who I forgot to do a review for last week. But it's essentially kind of like Finnish Faith No More.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And it's Sammy, who's now in Creator and Barren Earth. So.
Not overly familiar with Waltari, admittedly.
I still need to check out some of their older stuff. Winter Sun. Controversial?
Arguably the most divisive band on this list, I feel like.
I would argue Children of Bodom could be more.
Well, I think Winter Sun is kind of... Because Winter Sun's haters are much more vitriolic than... Yeah.
And I think it's kind of unfair, if you ask me. It's like, yeah, obviously, they took a long time to get to Time Part 2, but obviously, a lot of issues happened.
Yeah, well, he had to scam more people, obviously.
Well, I mean, if he paid it off with an album, then it ain't really a scam. So,
Well, I guess, but still, it's like you really
and
need all that
also like
money.
a ton of delays, probably because of COVID too. So,
Yeah, and
at
Yari
least
being
at first,
probably mostly to do with Yari being a perfectionist, I think, is
which you
probably.
can't really fault him for. It's his band, so he
Yeah,
wants it to be what he
I've
wants it to be.
I've never been a Winter Sun fan, to be honest. Like they're
I've
very overblown, very kind of over the top.
But from what I've listened to, which is primarily Time 2 and the debut, I fucking loved. Even if I wasn't the biggest fan of the drum production on Time 2, musically, it was absolutely incredible. But the debut, oh my god, that is some awesome folky symphonic melodeath.
I can't. I just really am not big on Winter Sun.
Uh,
Worm Phlegm,
Never
more
heard of.
Funeral Doom. They only have the one album, but I still need to check it out because I've heard it's like one of the best Funeral Doom albums.
And then we
And
have Zizma.
they're pretty much finished Carcass. Like
Yeah. And
gore
then they
grind.
became a death and roll band
Yeah.
after a while.
Uh,
I still need to listen to them.
same. I'll probably
So,
check them out just to see what they're all about, but I don't know them very well.
yeah.
All right.
All right, and now to thrash metal
Kind of surprised we
bands.
haven't done thrash bands already.
Yeah, which it's next to death metal is my favorite. Oh man, we got quite a murderer's row here.
Yep.
All right, so kicking off with Acid Rain, I have not listened to them.
They're pretty much like British tankard / British Anthrax. They're like the big four, but they like completely get forgotten about. Like no one talks about them
Just
ever.
a preface, there's going to be a lot of these I still have yet to listen to.
There's a couple in
There's
here
going
I
to be
still
a
need to
good
listen to.
amount that I'm probably not going to have any opinion about.
But yeah, I still need to dive a little bit more into Acid Rain. I've heard they have some good stuff, but yeah. Agent
Agent
Steel.
Steel, even though I don't really consider them thrash, I think they're
I
more
think they're
like
very
power
thrashy.
metal, speed metal.
Power thrash. I like call them power thrash.
From
They're
what I've
great.
heard, it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
So,
I think they're a really solid band.
Anacrusis, like prog thrash.
Very strange vocals.
Yeah, I still need to dig further into them. I have heard songs and they were pretty
From
good.
what I've heard, I would say they're good. The vocals can be very off-putting with this band.
Annihilator. So this is tough
Inconsistent.
because first two classics, and then
Yeah.
it's up down after that.
When they're bad, they're
I still need to listen to Carnival Diablo, the
I mean,
2001, because I hear that's like a good companion album to Violent Revolution by Creed.
I would say I would maybe say great.
I'm gonna say great just on the strength of the first two.
Yeah, and they have some other good albums. Like I thought the last album was honestly pretty good.
The last album was pretty good, yeah. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Jeff Waters' vocals, but his guitar work is
Oh yeah, he's an amazing.
flawless.
Yeah,
Anthrax.
I put them in the top tier, honestly. Like they only have two bad albums. They only have two albums that are bad.
Yeah, Stomp 442 and Threat is Real.
Especially when you consider how good, especially the last two albums, how good those were.
Yeah.
And dude, come
And
on,
then
among the
and
living,
then Among the
persistence of
Living,
time.
Spreading the Disease, and Persistence of Time. That's three of a perfect pair.
Yes, like dude, when you consider how strong their back catalog is, they gotta go in the top here, in my opinion. Especially since so many people like to shit on Anthrax for some reason. They're like, oh,
and
they
I'm
should
not
be in
one
the
of them.
big
I mean,
four.
granted, they're my least favorite of the big four, but I still love them.
Honestly, I think Megadeth might be my least favorite of the big four, but or no, probably Metallica, if I'm being honest. The inconsistency, again, they're inconsistent. Artillery is up next.
Artillery. This is still one I've been needing to listen to.
So with Artillery, it's mostly about the strength of two albums, Terror Squad and By Inheritance. Which By Inheritance is one of the best thrash albums of all time.
That's the album I've been needing to listen to the most.
The other stuff is, I'd say, great or good. The other stuff's not as good, but I think they're solid. They kind of became more of like a power thrash kind of band almost, especially the vocals. He's got kind of more of a power metal delivery.
Higher range.
Yeah.
All right, and this one I know it's a Russian band.
Aspid.
Aspid.
I haven't heard of
Not
them either.
listened
Only
to
one
them.
album, but they're like the Russian boy bod, essentially, from what
Yeah,
I know.
Russian Corner too.
Yeah.
Assassin.
One of the Teutonic thrash bands I still need to get into.
I've listened to songs. They can be just as snarly as the other German bands, but they're also pretty damn hilarious. Like the song they have called Junk Food. Junk food, that is what we want. Kit Kat, the British waffle snack. Bazooka, the best chewing gum. 31, the USA ice cream. Plus Michael Hoffman, who went on to be in Sodom from one album, came from here. I still need to listen to more stuff, but for now I'll put them in good.
Yeah, fair.
At War. I've not listened to them.
At War, they're okay. Like I'd say they're very kind of basic by the numbers, kind of speed thrash. Production's an issue on like all their albums.
Yeah. Atrophy. Basically Arizona Exodus.
Kind of like
the last album was really fucking good.
I thought honestly I put them in amazing just because all three of their albums are really
I still
killer.
need to get their first two.
The first two are
actually
awesome.
All three. I might as well get all three.
Atomica.
Not heard.
Brazilian thrash band. I've heard a couple songs, but not enough to really judge them.
Blind Illusion. So this is an interesting one because they started off more a prog rock band,
but then
they became thrash, and they had Les Claypool and Larry Lalonde for a bit.
Yeah, that's kind of how I came to know them.
Yeah. Blood Feast.
Blood Feast, I think, are pretty awesome. Like, again, just they're heavy, violent, like almost that kind of Demolition Hammer type, bordering on death metal kind of thrash. I think they're awesome.
Mm-hmm. Bonded by Blood. I have one album, but I've not listened to it yet.
I mean, it's Exodus worship. Like everything, obviously the fucking name. They're an Exodus worship band. They're all right. Yeah.
Carnivore, fantastic. Both albums fucking rule.
Again, not strictly thrash, but they're really good.
Yeah, like first album, thrash, but with a lot of like doom and classic metal, and then Retaliation thrash with a little bit of that hardcore bite.
Crossover.
Yeah. Corner, top.
Yeah, you know what? I'll let you have this one. Yeah,
all their albums are awesome. Even Grin, despite it being more groove metal oriented, it's still proggy. But like everything from Rest in Peace through Mental Vortex is flawless.
Yeah,
especially No More Color. That might be my favorite Corner album.
That album's awesome.
Since it was like less about crazy guitars and more about riffs. So there you go. Cryptic Slaughter, legendary crossover, almost proto grindcore too, because blast beats all over the map. Yeah. The first album is pretty vicious, but everything else I've not really checked out. So for now, I'll put them in great because of the first album. Conviction, that is a vicious crossover album that like pretty much inspired grind because of the blasting. DRI, I put them in fantastic.
I'd probably put them down in great tier, personally. I don't know. DRI aren't really my go-to necessarily for crossover thrash, but when they're on point, they are kick-ass.
Yeah, like crossover, Four of a Kind, and Thrash Zone.
I think
three of a perfect.
I mean, Dealing With It is kind of a bit more punk, but it's still really good, I think.
And then you had their album in '92. I think it was Definition, which was pretty solid, and then Full Speed Ahead, which I still need to dig further into.
Full Speed Ahead's all right. Dark Angel. I'd say fantastic.
Yeah. But particularly for their From Darkness Descends through Leave Scars or Time Does Not Heal.
Yeah, well, the last three, because the first one's not the best.
The first one, I still don't even call it an album. That's a demo. But
I think all the like metal like archives and like Metal Storm
which
and shit,
I don't get.
Album, so
which I don't get, but
I don't know either. But yeah,
Darkness, never heard of them.
They are a band. I haven't heard much from them though.
Death Angel,
For me, yes,
top.
top tier. Yes.
Despite 1 week album,
which is
Frolic through the Park.
Well, even then, it's not that bad. It's just kind of
no, it's not bad. It's just weird.
But I mean, I even like Act 3. I love Act 3. I think that album's incredible. And but
Ultra Violence, though, it's the GOAT.
Well, especially again, if we're talking about like modern thrash band or modern output for old school thrash bands, they're
one of the best. Yeah. Death Row, more technical thrash from Germany. I have one album. It's pretty vicious. I'll go good for now because I still need to listen to more.
Yeah, but from what I've heard, I honestly put them in great. I think from what I've heard, they're really solid.
Defiance, still need to listen to them.
Same. I've heard their first album is like kind of like a cult classic thrash album, kind of Megadeth version. What I've read about them.
Yeah, Demolition Hammer, fantastic from the first 2 albums.
The third album, we're just going to pretend it doesn't exist for this one.
Yeah,
because dude, the first 2 are
incredible. Precious. Death thrash. Destruction,
I'd say amazing. Just yeah, I don't think
there's a lot of like peaks and valleys in their catalog, but their 80s stuff, perfect.
I mean, yeah, Infernal Overkill and Cracked Brain,
Eternal Devastation,
Release from Agony,
yep. Devastation. Still need to listen to that.
Dude. Okay, again, for this one, we're going to ignore the first album because the first album is butt sauce.
The other 2 I know from Nick saying they're
Idolatry and Signs of Life are fucking so good. Again, it's like Demolition Hammer. They're basically Texas Demolition Hammer.
Dust Bolt. The only thing, well, aside from the good songs Nick played for me, my only album I've listened to was the last one, and good God, I wish I didn't.
Good God, yeah. No, last album is trash, but when they're good, they're good. They're kind of standard, but they're good.
Kind of like German Evil.
A little bit.
Warbringer, kind of.
In 4.
Thus far, 3 albums, they go top tier. All 3 albums are fucking killer. I think in order to get top tier, you have to have at least 3.
I'd say to get top tier, you have to have at least 4.
All right.
In my humble opinion.
We'll go fantastic then.
I mean,
Evil Dead. I still need to listen to Evil Dead.
They're okay. The first album is really fun. The first album is really solid crossover album. After that, it's not pretty. The last album was just like old man yells at Gen Z. Yeah, that last album was bad.
Which can't fault him for that.
He literally says just another meme in one of the songs, which is like, what the fuck are you doing?
All right, next up, Evil.
I'll be honest.
I think they go in fantastic.
Let me be perfectly honest. I am not much of an Evil fan. I've listened to them multiple times. I've listened to bunch of their albums.
Which album? Oh, okay.
I've listened to Enter the Grave. I've listened to what was that one? What's genocidal? That's not genocidal nations. What's the one?
Oh, Infected Nations.
Infected Nations, and
that might be my favorite out of the bunch.
I don't know what it is about Evil. I just cannot get into them. I find them kind of boring and just pedestrian. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion. Okay, I try to like them, but I can't. I just don't like them.
They're basically the perfect hybrid of Metallica and Slayer.
Yeah, but they're.
It's boring. There's musically like Metallica riffs, but with the Slayer intensity.
Yeah, but
back when Matt Drake was doing vocals, it was kind of like a gruffer Metallica. Hell Unleashed though might be up there for a favorite because that's more death thrash because it's so fast. The new album's not the best, but it's not bad.
It's a Diet Black album, basically.
But even at that, there's still some damn good songs.
Whatever. I just can't get into them. I'm sorry. I've tried. Ex-Hoarder now. Now, if we're talking about Ex-Hoarder as a thrash band, we're really only talking about like the first album.
Yeah, and then after that, their groove. Well, even the last album was was not as groove metal.
Still, but they still have a lot of thrash for sure.
Yeah,
honestly,
I think of them more as a groove metal band.
Like honestly,
thrash.
If we're counting all 4 albums, I'd put them in the top tier. Honestly, because I think all 4 of the albums are fantastic. Awesome.
Even the new one might be my least favorite of the four, but it's still
But I still really
good.
like it.
But for me, the go-to is Slaughter in the Vatican for sure.
Yeah, The Law for me is my
The
favorite.
Law is also really good too. I still need to find those first two albums, but good luck trying to find one that ain't a bootleg.
Yeah.
Ex Mortis. I've only heard one album, and it was fun. It's basically like neoclassical thrash.
Yeah, I
Because
still need
Conan's
to.
a damn good guitarist.
I still need to dive more into Ex Mortis just so I can actually have an opinion on them. But
But judging off of the one album I heard, it was pretty damn good. So I'll go good.
yeah,
Exodus
top tier.
Despite Force of Habit, and it's not even that bad of an album.
Yeah, that's like their only album that I would consider to even be like mediocre because everything else in their catalog is killer.
Mm-hmm. Exhumer.
I know you're a giant Exhumer fan.
I'm going to go fantastic.
They're a unique German thrash band because they kind of sound more Bay Area than they do Teutonic, honestly.
Yeah, and especially their last couple albums, basically what Slayer should have done at the end of their run.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Exhumer goes pretty high. Flotsam and Jetsam.
Okay, this is a tricky one for me because... What was that?
I have my TV on, and I was watching SmackDown, and the screen just went black.
Oh, whoops.
Anyway, so Flotsam and
Jets.
Oh, shit.
What happened?
Okay. The Wyatt Six is back in WWE. That's pretty fun. All right, anyway, so Flotsam and Jetsam.
They have that kind of weird period where they were like releasing very odd albums, but when they're on point, they are on point. Like, dude, the last 3 Flotsam and Jetsam albums have been incredible. And of course, the first 2 are fucking stone cold classics. I'd say fantastic for me personally, just because when they're at their peak, man, they're at their peak.
Forbidden.
Russ Anderson is a killer vocalist.
Yeah. Strength of the first 2, they have to go pretty high.
Yeah, even the last album I thought was pretty good.
Forced Entry. Still need to listen to them.
I've
only heard snippets of songs.
I hear this band brought up all the time, but I really still don't know much from them.
What's up, Ben?
What's up, Ben? How you doing, buddy?
Fueled by Fire. This is another one of them thrash revival bands I still need to listen to.
Same.
Gamma Bomb. Heard a little bit of Gamma Bomb, and it was fun.
Yeah, they're fun. I guess good. Just because they're fun.
Gamma Side.
One and done, Texas thrash. I'd put them in amazing, probably. Just because, again, going off the strength of that one album, it is pretty damn good. Vocals could have been better, but it's a pretty damn good album.
Hallows Eve. Georgia band.
Still one I kind of
need to listen to them, yeah.
I've heard I know they're kind of like more of like the speed thrash a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's next?
All right, next up, Havoc. So this is interesting because like recently, Havoc's quality's kind of dipped.
The last EP,
like their early stuff. Oh my god, it's like modern Megadeth kind of.
A little bit.
I'm gonna go great. I'm gonna go great for Havoc.
Yeah, fair.
Heathen. I still need to get the first 2 albums.
Dude, the first 2 Heathen albums are absolutely fantastic. Even the last 2, like the last one was a bit like I feel like a bit overly polished and definitely a bit more melodic, but I like Heathen. Like, dude, Lee Altus, badass guitarist.
Hexen, never heard of them.
You've never heard of Hexen? Oh, really? I feel like this is a band you'd be all over because they're kind of like progressive thrash a little bit. From what I've heard, I'd say they're probably great. Because the first album is pretty damn strong. Second album, maybe not so much, but yeah,
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Hyrax. Fun. They're really fun. The new album, despite it being so damn short, it was fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
I'll bump them down to good. Hobbs, Angel of Death. basically Australian Slayer kind
Yep.
of. I still need to listen to more
Same.
of their stuff.
Same. Shame on me because I should know them, but I
Same
don't.
here too. Holy Moses, German band with Sabine Klassen being
She's a great vocalist.
feral queen. I still need to listen to full stuff. I've heard songs, and they were good.
I put them in great. I think they're a pretty damn solid band. They have kind of, again, that weird period in the 90s where they got more experimental, but for the most part, they're a killer band.
Holy Terror, I've not listened to them.
I still need to dive more into them too, but from what I've heard, they are amazing.
Infernal Majesty, from what I've heard.
Canadian Slayer. Pretty much.
Yep.
Even though there's like 3 different bands that get called Canadian Slayer.
Intruder, not familiar.
They have the one album, I forget the name of, but that's got like a very big cult following, but I still need to listen to it. They're like technical thrash.
Yeah. Iron Reagan. Still need to listen to them.
Basically, the more
Municipal Waste.
Well, I mean, Municipal Waste is already crossover, so I guess Iron Reagan is just the more political.
Just the more punky Municipal Waste.
I'd say good from what I've heard. I still need to dive more into their catalog, though. Admittedly.
Creator.
They gotta go in the top tier, dude.
Yeah, they'll have to go top tier. Even though they're my second favorite German thrash band.
Well, I mean, come on, dude.
Laz Rocket. I've only heard songs, and they were awesome.
I think Laz Rocket are pretty great, honestly. Like, yeah, I think they're a solid band.
Lich King. Still need to dig further into Lich King.
From what I've heard, they're like another Gamma Bomb, basically. Like, they're just kind of like goofy. Like, their shit is about, like, you know, like Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. They're fun.
Yeah.
Or no, I think World of Warcraft is like their thing.
Living Death, who some people call them more a speed metal band than thrash.
Well, again, I feel like the lines are blurry between speed and thrash metal a lot of the time.
I think there's a kind of a clear defining aspect. Like whenever to me, what makes a speed metal band is if the production's much too raw, and also there's less of the and more D beats, like the Motorhead Discharge D beat. That's speed metal in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like a raw production and more D beats rather than like a more, I wouldn't say polished, but like a more balanced production and more of the beat kind of thing.
I guess that makes sense, but yeah.
But Living Death, I only know of them because their drummer Atomic Stife went into Sodom for a couple of albums.
Yeah.
But I still need to listen to them.
Yeah.
Lost Society. Heard one album and it was their last of their thrashy era. It was okay, and then after that, they've really sucked.
I still need to kind of dive more into them. They're like
their old stuff.
Oh, I should have included them in my finished bands tier list. Fuck me.
M.O.D. Billy Milano's band after SOD. I haven't listened to enough M.O.D. I've heard songs, and it's just basically SOD, but more punky.
They're okay. I mean, it's basically just SOD light.
Yeah.
Billy Milano is nothing without Scott Ian. I'm just going to say it.
No, he's not. Megadeth, top.
Yeah, I mean, kind of by default, I feel like they have to go
for their thrash stuff, they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, Mekong Delta, who I still need to listen to.
They're basically another like prog thrash, kind of like German coroner a little bit. I haven't heard everything from them, but from what I have heard, they're pretty great.
Metal Church, who's another one you could also maybe argue being more speed metal too.
Power thrash, kind of as well.
Yeah. But I'm going to go amazing for Metal Church.
Based kind of solely off the strength of like the first 3, honestly.
Oh. Yep. Oh, here we go. Metallica.
Arguably the single most divisive.
They have to be top tier for their thrash stuff.
I don't know.
They have to. If you have Megadeth, you gotta have Metallica.
Their highs are so high, but their lows are fucking
There's
low.
only one major low, and that's Saint Anger.
No,
Load and Reload are not bad.
Load
and Reload are not bad albums. I don't care what anyone says. They are not bad. Lulu's a Lou Reed album that
No,
Metallica
it's
happened
a
to get,
Metallica Lou Reed. It's a Metallica Lou Reed collaboration. They have to
but
take at
it's
least
not even
50% of the
part of
blame.
their.
Okay,
The songwriting was mostly Lou
they
Reed.
have to take 50% of the blame though. They chose to put it out. They're
Yeah,
like,
but
yes,
it
we
was
want.
largely a Lou Reed album that Metallica just happened to play instruments on.
I am the table.
But still, but I mean, the first five are
First four for
classics.
me.
First five are classics. Death Magnetic was a damn good comeback despite the production being way too distorted. And their last two albums, I think, are very underrated for what they were doing.
I don't know. I think
I mean, yeah, say what you will about Lars, but you don't listen to Metallica for the drums. You listen to them for the riffs and the vocals. That's what you listen to Metallica.
I mean, my big issue with the last two is that they're just overly long.
They are long, but the songs on them, for the most part, are damn good.
Yeah. I mean,
obviously, like I've talked about this before, with like especially Hardwired. If you would have taken the first three songs off of disc 2 off and just left the final three songs of disc 2 and all of disc 1, you'd have probably the best album they've had since And Justice, right there. 72 Seasons, plenty of awesome songs like the title track, Inamorata, You Must Burn, Screaming Suicide, what was the Lux Eterna. Like, there are some damn good songs. And then Death Magnetic, I think top to bottom, the whole album's great. It's just the only issue. Why did you have to over distort the production, Rick Rubin? Why?
And of course,
kind of hurts it.
Stanger is
Saint Anger. Saint Anger is the one album I will easily rip apart, even though it's not the worst. Even though it's not the worst album of all time, like so many people say, they're far worse than that.
What do you think?
If anything, it's the best worst album of all time. It's the tip of the iceberg.
I think Diabolus is like the best worst album, arguably. I would much rather listen to Diabolus than Saint Anger. Based off production alone. Listen either. There's a lot of albums.
But anyways, and then Load and Reload. Yes, they didn't go thrash, but they went for like a more Sabbath style.
What rock?
No.
It's basically if you ordered Corrosion of Conformity from Wish, that's Load and Reload.
But they did the style well, though.
There's a couple good songs on them.
There are some underrated gems. Bleeding Me, Where the Wild Things Are. It's so damn good.
But for the most part, it's kind of sewer water.
I think people overhate those albums.
Metallica are arguably like the single most divisive metal band of all time, just because.
I would argue Tool would probably take that crown.
Well, no, because it's like with Tool, it's like people, you either love Tool or you hate Tool. With Metallica, it's like you either love this part of their career or you love this part of their career or you hate this part of their career. Like, because they're so all over the map. It's like.
True.
Yeah, like the fan base is not evenly split. It's like there's all these different camps that exist in the Metallica fan base.
Whereas with me, I don't love Load and Reload. I like them for what they were. Do I think they're amazing? Absolutely not. But like first five, even the Black Album, despite, Inner Sandman and Nothing Else Matters being overplayed, the two lesser hits of Unforgiven, Saboteur are still fantastic. And then all the deep cuts are amazing songs.
I don't know. There's a couple duds on Black Album.
I don't think there's a bad song on the album.
Well, they're not bad. They're just kind of filler tracks in my opinion. Like there's a couple songs there that just don't really stand out.
But like God That Failed, that's probably their most evil song they ever.
I think that's one of their most underrated songs. I love that song.
Great bass line, and that's very much like a Sabbath kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Struggle Within is a fun, like thrashy closer. My Friend of Misery, that bass intro, there's just some great melodies on there.
I will say
Wolfen Man is such a damn good mid-tempo stomper.
Don't Tread on Me is kind of a. Yeah,
I actually like that song. That's like one of my favorite triplet chuggers.
It just is a song that screams like redneck chugging beer with a truck on fire.
Not really. It's no Five Finger Death Punch. That's for damn
It's
sure.
kind of like proto Five Finger Death Punch, though.
Hell, how dare you?
What?
At least,
come on.
At least the song itself actually has musical value.
You have to admit that pretty much every like late '90s, 2000s butt rock band took a lot from the Black Album.
No,
admit it.
If anything, they took more from grunge.
Well, arguably grunge.
The post-grunge thing is what. But anyways, we've spent too much time based on the thrash material, which is first 4 albums.
Yeah, fine.
And
fair.
to a lesser degree, Death Magnetic. They have to go with.
Okay, fine. Moving on.
I mean, for Kill 'Em All through Injustice alone,
we're moving on. You said yourself we're spending too much time on this, so move on.
All right, Morbid Saint.
Fantastic.
I mean, only 2 albums, but
3 albums.
Technically, I mean, Destruction System, wasn't that just a demo?
Well, it was a demo, but then they
happened to get released.
But they made it into an album, so yeah.
Mortal Sin, basically Australian Metallica, first 2, from
really
what
good.
I heard, are awesome. So I'm gonna go great. Great.
I think great is
I need to get those first 2 albums.
Oh, dude, Behemoth Destruction is a banger of an album.
Municipal Waste.
Fun pizza thrash.
Fun crossover band. Not the world's biggest fan of some of their political lyrics, but their party lyrics, I can giggle like a little kid and have a ball.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
They're fun.
Amazing.
They're fun.
I mean, beer pressure. That alone. Mutilator. So only
Brazilian.
2 albums, but first album, Immortal Force, monster like death thrash.
Yeah, kind of like another Sepultura. I feel like
I don't think really Sepultura. I would say,
well, just based off that early death thrash kind of sound, they're somewhat in that ballpark.
But the vocals were definitely more thrash forward. Like the vocals on Mutilator were definitely a lot more thrashier than early Sepultura.
Mm-hmm.
But musically, there's a lot of blasting and tremolo going on there that death metal picked up on. Just on the strength of that debut, I'm going to go amazing. All right, let's see. Necronomicon. This is a band I keep seeing and I forget to listen to.
They're like one of the Teutonic thrash bands I still need to get into, but from how people talk about them, they're amazing.
Yeah. Some people have been calling Metallica sellouts because Fade to Black. Now, that's not fair, because Fade to Black's a legit phenomenal song.
Yeah, but I mean, I get. Well, I don't get it, but I think
it's the one ballad-ish. I would call that more a dirge than a ballad.
It's still a heavy ballad.
Because you got heavy fucking riffs and an amazing solo.
Yeah, I love Fade to Black.
Yeah. Anyways, Nuclear Assault.
Basically, Anthrax Jr.
I would say more aggressive than Anthrax.
Yeah, not as melodic, but still,
and also more hardcore too.
Yeah,
you could also argue they're a crossover band too.
Yeah, they're fun. I like them.
I have their debut; it's pretty killer. I need to get Survive.
Their last album though was a giant turd.
Yeah, Onslaught, my
British
personal
Slayer?
favorite. I would say British Metallica.
I don't know. I feel like they've got a lot of Slayer to them.
Well, mainly the speed of Slayer, but the riffs of Metallica. Because you listen to a lot of their stuff on The Force and In Search of Sanity, there are Metallica riffs that Metallica never wrote on those.
But they've also got a lot of punk in them still. Their early stuff,
mainly in the vocals. The vocals.
Well, I mean, they started out. If you listen to their older early demos,
they're very very early. They were more of a secondary discharge.
Yeah,
before
kind
they
of
went to thrash, and like I said, they got the speed of Slayer, but the riff writing of Metallica.
But they're really good. I like them a lot.
Fucking amazing. Overkill. Back to the top we go.
Again, there's a couple that a little bit
in the groove metal era, which I'm going to be ranking them in October. That's going to take me a long time to get
20 albums.
Yep.
But they're killer.
Paradox, this is another band I need to listen to.
Same. I know they're, shame on me.
Poison, the German Poison. I've heard songs basically kind of like early death metal at times too.
Yeah, early kind of
Kind of
death
like
thrash.
Death thrash, kind of like what Morbid Angel was doing at the same time, kind of
Yeah,
style.
they did kind of the like their only album was like a demo, but then it was
It was a
released as an
compilation of
album.
demo songs, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll put them in good. Possessed.
Again,
3
we
albums.
can
Unfortunately, they'll have to just go into fantastic.
again we can argue about whether or not they're a thrash metal band, but that's to me they're a thrash band.
Yeah.
They're a thrash band with kind of death growls.
Power Trip, even though it's just 2 albums thus far, they're killer.
Well,
absolutely killer.
I mean, I'd probably put them lower personally, but you know.
I mean, especially for the strength of Nightmare Logic, that was like a perfect crossover album.
Executioner's Tax is
such a catchy song. The title track is fucking furious. Firing Squad, oh my god.
Protector,
German Death Thrash Legends.
I'd say fantastic.
Amazing.
Based off the strength of the first 2 albums, especially, like
and hell, their last two were awesome as well. I still need to get some Protector in my collection, though.
Yeah, no,
I don't know how difficult they are to find.
Razor,
the other Canadian Slayer. Well, first album more like a continuation of Exciter.
Yeah,
and then Evil Invaders on. Yeah.
But it's so tough because like half of their catalog is incredible, like some of the best thrash ever made.
And then a couple albums, like mainly in the 90s.
And the last album.
I like the last album. The only issue I had with it was the drum production.
And Bob Reed's vocals.
But musically, I loved it. In terms
I guess maybe in the fantastic, or just because, again, the inconsistency. But man, when they're on point, they are on fucking point, dog.
Yeah.
Rigor
Mortis. I mean, the debut album, one of the best thrash debuts.
Based off the strength of that album, I'd say amazing. Just because the other stuff isn't as good.
Yeah. SOD. Only 2 albums, and we don't talk about the last one, but the first album, Speak English or Die, that's like the pinnacle of crossover.
Yeah.
Right there. I'm going to go fantastic just because that first album, it's perfection. And up to that point, you could argue up to that point the most brutal metal album ever written up to that point in 85. Just because like you listen to a lot of those riffs, it's like, my God, how did they accomplish that tone?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in 85, you also did have Hell Awaits and 7 Churches, but
and Celtic Frost too, because you had Morbid Tales.
Yeah. Sabat,
however you say it. This is the British one, to clarify, not the Japanese one.
With Andy Sneap and Martin Walkyier.
I'd say
I still need to listen to the whole shebang of the first 2 albums.
But dude, the first 2 albums are so damn good. Like it's like pagan thrash. It's awesome.
Basically a precursor to folk metal too. When Skyclad started, with Martin
definitely
left. Sacred Reich. Now this is one where it's tough because Ignorance and Surf Nicaragua, fantastic. American Way, still pretty good, even if they start trickling down the groove metal path a little bit. And then after that. And then even the new album, Awakening, it was basically like they mixed everything. Like the thrash songs were great, the groove metal songs, not the best.
I'd say maybe just good or great, because again, the inconsistency. Like I think their groove metal era is so damn boring in my opinion. Like Independent is like the most nothing album I've ever heard in my life.
Sacrifice.
For me, personally, top tier. In terms of like Canadian,
and the new album's pretty damn good too.
Like, dude, the first 3 are so damn amazing.
Sadus.
I'd say amazing. Maybe amazing.
And the new album was really good too.
Yeah.
Sepultura. Okay, this is tough because.
Or is it? Is it?
Honestly, yes. Because, and I'll preface, the early Max era from Morbid Visions through Chaos AD, amazing run. Most particularly Schizophrenia Beneath the Remains and Arise. Chaos AD's very good. It's not my favorite,
It's
but
not
it's
thrash.
still, but it's not well, there's thrash in there,
It's
but it's more
groove
groove metal. Roots, yeah, they
Yeah.
went new metal, but they did it better than a lot of new metal bands did.
Not a very high bar to clear, though.
And then after that comes the Derek Green era, which honestly I skip most of that except
Dante.
the last. Well, I still need to get Dante. I still have yet to listen to all of Kairos and Mediator, but I hear those are both really good.
Dante
And then
is
Machine
really good.
Messiah.
Kairos
But
is
the
good.
last one, Quadra, was awesome.
But see, for me, if you're going to put Metallica in the top tier,
Then we
got
gotta put them at the top two because of the power of the Max era through Chaos AD. And then the same goes with Slayer.
Yep.
And again, basically it's the same deal as Metallica, where it's their classic stuff is among the best.
Well, what classics? Like, I think Slayer's probably my favorite of the big four, if I'm being honest. Just
Metallica still for me. I mean, it's very close with Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer. Like, all three are in my top 10 favorite bands of all time.
Poor Anthrax.
I know.
Number top tier.
Yep. And in my opinion, the best German thrash band of all time.
Possibly my favorite thrash band, just because their peaks are so high, and really their lows aren't that bad.
Really aren't bad. Like, Get What You Deserve was...
It's more of a
it was essentially
crossover album.
It was more like their attempt at a Motorhead album, and it was fun.
Oh, well, and then you get Till Death Do Us Unite, which is kind of more crossover.
That's the weakest one in their catalog in my mind.
That's easily the worst album
still
cover.
Decent, but nothing to write at home about. Masquerade and Blood. Masquerade and Blood would be second weakest.
I think that was my least favorite when I ranked Sodom. That album was just kind of very uneven.
Yeah, because you had like punky songs, you had groove metal songs, you had
death metal songs too.
But I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was decent still, but easily out of the uneven middle period, I always like Get What You Deserve more because it's a fun Motorhead album done by Sodom.
Dude, Agent Orange and
but yeah, everything from
Tapping the Vein.
Yeah, everything from In the Sign of Evil through Tapping the Vein is amazing, and then everything from Code Red on to now has been really good. M16, classic of the modern era.
Orgasmic.
Suicidal Angels. I've only heard one album. It was solid.
I'd say good. Again, they're newer band, but I think they're decent.
Suicidal Tendencies. This is one where it's like very inconsistent catalog. Like,
yes.
Granted, the first album, that's a hardcore album and a skate punk album, but it's amazing. Join the Army, How I Laugh Tomorrow, and Lights Camera Revolution. Amazing crossover album. Well, okay, Join the Army, I would say, is more of a crossover album, whereas How I Laugh Tomorrow was more towards straight up thrash. Lights Camera Revolution, that's a thrash album.
Yeah.
With funky bass grooves by Rob Trujillo.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's...
I'd say maybe Amazing.
Amazing because of the strength of their 80s and early 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Basically kind of the same deal as Slayer, but not as impactful.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Tankard.
All right, Tankard gets a lot of shit from people.
I like them,
frankly,
but I think Exhumer should be in the big four of German thrash over.
I mean, I will say this. Tankard, I think they're overhated. A lot of people are like, oh my god, they're so bad. But it's like, they're not a bad band.
No.
And also, I will say this. Honestly, they're probably the most consistent thrash band because they never like tried to deviate, like try to like do the groove or like crossover thing. Like they've pretty much played the same style all throughout their catalog, which yes, all their albums sound the same, admittedly. But based off of the strength of albums like, you know, like the Debut and like Chemical Invasion, I'd also put them in great. Personally.
Here we go. Time for another top tier estimate.
I'm going to be ranking them very soon. Looking forward to that.
I mean, like, you know, The Legacy, my personal favorite of the bunch, one of the best debuts. New Order, phenomenal follow-up.
The Gathering, underrated.
Practice What You Preach is still good, but definitely a weaker spot in their catalog.
But then you
Souls
get
of
to
Black
Souls
was a
of
bit
Black.
of an improvement. I think The Ritual is the most underrated album of their career.
Even their
Yeah,
newest,
it was following the path of the Black Album, but they did it so damn well because they made it sound evil and dark. And
Yeah.
then Low, even though Low was towards the bottom of my list, still
Still good.
great.
Demonic is
Demonic,
really
it's
the
okay to
it's really
mediocre.
honestly Demonic is the only album of theirs I would say is not good.
Yeah, and then from The Gathering to now, consistency.
Yeah, dude,
And
they're
please give us a new album. It's been too long.
I'm sure they'll come out with a new album eventually.
Hopefully later this year, if not early next
Assuming
year.
one of them doesn't like drop dead, of course.
Which I don't think they will.
Well, I don't want them. I don't want them to drop dead.
Nobody does. Toxic Holocaust. I'm gonna go amazing.
Yeah, in terms
Fun.
of
Even though you could also make the argument they're kind of like more a little bit at times towards like a hybrid of speed metal and thrash.
with that black
'Cause
metal
they got-
too.
With some black metal and punk in there, but because you do get the songs where they do the, but then you get a lot of like the punky D beat stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, they're fun. In terms of like the thrash revival,
Aaron, you're wrong. You're grounded.
I love As the Seasons Gray from The Ritual. That song.
I love almost every song except Deadline. Even though it's not a bad song, it's definitely the weakest on the album.
But as I was saying, in terms of like the thrash revival ones, Holocaust are one of the best ones.
Toxic. Still need to listen to Toxic.
The vocals are an acquired taste because they're very high, but musically they are really, really good. Again, they're kind of the more technical thrash. I put them in great. Yeah. Again, vocals can get on my nerves very quickly, but yeah.
Vector. Only 3 albums, but I only have listened to Terminal Redux, which was phenomenal. Still need to listen further into the first 2 albums.
I
but
still need to get
judging
into
from what
Vector.
I've heard, it's amazing. Even the vocals are an acquired taste, but musically, oh my god, they're basically like basically like a hybrid of Corner, Voivod, and a little bit of late era Death.
Yeah, well, the vocals especially are kind of like Sound of Perseverance, Chuck.
But not as good. In my mind.
Yeah.
Vendetta, not heard of
I
them.
would put them in the great, honestly. I still need to hear their full catalog, but from what I've heard, they are a really solid German thrash band.
Violence.
Minus Sean Killion's vocals.
Despite the vocals, first 2 albums, most especially Eternal Nightmare, phenomenal.
Third album.
I'm gonna go great.
Yeah.
Violator. I still need to listen to this band too.
They're good. Like, they're again kind of a thrash revival band. They got a pretty big following, but they're kind of standard, I would say. So I'd say good. I like them, but they're nothing really special.
Voivod.
Now, this is a tricky one because you could almost make the argument their later stuff isn't thrash.
It's just prog.
But if we're judging them based off of their
I would even say like the first 2 albums aren't really thrash; they're more speed metal albums.
Yeah, but
Killing Technology and Dimension Atros, there's definitely more thrash to it, but it's still getting very progressive.
I'd say honestly amazing though
for the thrash side of things. But if it was, you know what, I'm going to say we should count them overall.
Yeah, fair.
So overall,
if I was counting them overall,
they would go top tier. Overall.
For me, if we're counting them overall, I'd put them in amazing. I don't listen to them as much as the other 3 big 4 Canadian bands, honestly.
Warbringer. For a modern band, I think they go top tier.
Arguably the best.
I would argue the best
revival band.
Yes, in terms of consistency. Yes,
and I think they've just gotten better and better with each subsequent.
That new album so far has been my only 5 I've given so far this year.
And dude, Woe to the Vanquished, Weapons of Tomorrow. Those albums.
Even the debut, Total War was phenomenal debut.
Very raw, but still pretty.
Very raw and nasty. Watchtower.
You and I you and I are probably going to disagree on this because I don't like this band. Like they're
I think like it's the biggest issue I have with Watchtower are the vocals.
yeah.
Musically, amazing stuff because you have Ron Jarzenbeck, one of the best guitarists out there.
Musically, they're
musically, I'm gonna go with great. If you can get past the vocals,
which are
and
kind of
just focus on the music, then
yeah,
you'd be in for some very technical.
Well, because they had two different vocalists. I know one of the guys was also in Dangerous Toys.
Jason McMaster, yeah. Which Jason McMaster, when he was doing Watchtower vocals, he just focused primarily on the highs and it didn't.
And I'm pretty sure the other guy was also the same vocalist for Confessor, who are a very weird band.
Let me double check.
I think so. I could be wrong.
I don't think it was the same guy.
The vocals in Confessor are also very high pitched.
No, it was somebody else named Alan Tecchio. And yeah, really? I think he was definitely better than Jason on the second album. But it's definitely
no. And Scott Jeffries was the vocalist for Confessor.
Confessor, yeah. And I'm not a fan of his vocals either.
Yeah, no. He's such Whiplash. I like Whiplash
quite a bit, actually. Kind of like a New Jersey Exodus.
Kinda. You could again. They have a little bit more of that kind of East Coast sound though than Exodus for sure. But I like them. I think all their albums are pretty damn solid. Apparently, they're working on a new one. So,
Zentrix, basically British Metallica.
Okay, really.
Another British Metallica, but even more than Onslaught.
We're really counting just the first two and the last two because the middle two are kind of not good.
But I would say they go into fantastic because Shattered Existence for Whose Advantage and the last album, incredible. I would say especially for Whose Advantage, like that's basically the perfect companion album to And Justice for All. I would argue. Because they're very, very similar.
Yeah.
Like, hence why I say Zentrix, even more so than Onslaught, the British Metallica.
Even more so than E-Ball.
Because, like, in the riff writing and the speed, it's very much in that Master of Puppets and Justice for All vein.
They even got the kind of like the little proggy flares a little bit, too, like And Justice.
From And Justice for All, too, yeah. And the longer songs on Master of Puppets as well. Despite a slightly different vocal style, it's very close.
And we only have one more band.
Snow White, who I've only heard snippets of.
Same, so not enough to judge them, really, but...
So, all right, so now to go through some of the bands perhaps missing. Mesro would have been one. They're a Swedish band. They're very much like Swedish Testament and Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 albums thus far, but both are incredible. Like their first one, Then Came to Killing, which was 1990. Basically, it's a Testament album from Sweden. And then the last one that came out a couple of years ago, Summoned by Demons. It's a more modern sounding album, but my God, the songs are so good. Like basically Testament meets Metallica.
Yeah.
So they could be on here. Volcano.
You're Volcano? Or Volcano?
Volcano, the Brazilian Volcano.
Oh, yeah, the Brazilian one. Even Cat.
Even though...
From
Poland. Cat from Poland. Yeah, they could have been on here.
See, that's kind of a weird thing because I was thinking about including some bands like Celtic Frost or Sarcophago because they're definitely in the thrash realm, but
they've leaned more towards other things. Like Celtic Frost, in my mind, lean more towards death metal and doom,
and Sarcophago's more kind of black metal.
Sarcophago, like the debut was first wave black metal, and then after that they became death metal.
Yeah.
Like, especially Laws of Scourge, like, that's almost a tech death album.
Kind of.
Because it's very, very complex and fast.
The Haunted is another one, too. Because
I would say The Haunted should be on here.
But they're also very mellow death. Even kind of like groove metal.
I never understood why The Haunted get labeled as mellow death.
They've got a lot of mellow death in them.
Aside from some members of At the Gates forming, I don't really see them as a mellow death band. I've always seen them as a thrash band. Yeah, they had the groove metal kind of stuff, and then
What about Gwar?
Gwar is all over the fucking place.
See that?
Like you get some. It's like they're a metal band that just happen to incorporate aspects of thrash and punk and groove and all sorts of crazy shit.
See, what about
Uh,
Prawn? Because if we're counting early Prawn, they're a crossover
Early,
band.
like the first couple albums, yes.
Afterwards, they kind of switched over to more groove metal.
Yeah,
So
like
even,
well,
even
even by the second album, while there was thrash, you could still say that was a groove metal album.
yeah, you see, but even a lot of like the hardcore bands, like stuff like like Cro-Mags
I would have argued Cro-Mags could have been on this list
or
too.
even early COC, or like early COC, like the
COC
like
should have been on here too.
Animosity, Technocracy era.
Yep.
Even like Excel and like stuff like that, you could argue are
Excel
crossover
could have been
bands.
on here.
Wasted
Yeah,
Youth, maybe
Excel probably should
even.
have been on here. And then there would have been maybe you could argue Agnostic Front because they had a couple crossover albums.
Yeah,
But then again, you think of them more as a New York hardcore band.
But even then, a lot of New York hardcore bands are also like very metal,
Very
too.
metal inspired. That's why I always like New York hardcore because they're less punk inspired and more metal inspired.
Yeah,
Like Cro-Mags, but Cro-Mags, you could argue that you could fit them in both crossover and New York hardcore.
I just noticed we didn't put a single thrash band here in Trash, which I guess
is pretty good.
I feel like thrash is just such a consistent style. You have to really try to fuck up thrash, honestly.
I'm trying to think of other bands. The Crown, I would argue, could be on here too.
Kind of death thrash a little bit too.
Yeah, but mainly for the album Death Race King, that's one of the best 2000s thrash albums.
Or even like Merciless, maybe, even though they're
Merciless could have been on here,
thrash.
even though they were like death thrash. Same with Vader. You could
I
argue.
feel like Vader are way more on the death metal side, though.
Same with Cancer and Massacre and
even Massacre to a degree.
Massacre.
Oh, Vulture's a good one. In terms of modern bands, Vulture's a good one.
And I'm also trying to think of other modern bands, too.
I'm thinking another one, too, might be Dream Death, even though they're also very doomy.
Doomy. Like, also, you could argue one of the precursors to Death Doom.
Well, they're like Celtic Frost. They're just a pure Celtic Frost worship. Well, to me, they're like the perfect marriage of like Celtic Frost and Slayer. And I fucking love Death.
Let's see. I still need to listen to that first Dream Death album.
Dude, Journey into Mystery is such an amazing album. Like I said, it's basically 2 Megatherion meets Hell Awaits.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a perfect marriage.
Even though they probably wouldn't qualify because they only had one thrash album, Pestilence.
And
Malleus Maleficarum.
I mean, only one thrash album, so like, do they really count?
That's true.
That's like putting, I don't know, that'd be like putting Sodom on a death metal list because they have that one almost death metal album.
True.
Right? INC would have been that one. EXE.
Let's see. Still trying to think of some modern bands.
Skeleton Witch, kind of the more black thrash.
Yes, Skeleton Witch. I'm shocked they weren't on here. Yeah, Skeleton Witch should have been on here.
Well, the last one was kind of like more just like straight up black metal, honestly.
Yeah, hopefully they get back on track with a new album.
I guess we could also include like Destroyer 666.
Yes.
And like Ara Noir too.
Ara Noir, Death Hammer.
Niflheim.
Yeah.
Disaster.
Mm-hmm. Or any black and thrash band.
Well, those are all like black and thrash bands.
But they're still thrash.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
they're still thrashy.
Let's
see.
Slaughter.
I mean, yeah, the Canadian Slaughter. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. There's a modern band. Hazard.
I actually don't know that one.
Their new album is so fucking good.
Evil Invaders.
Even Dave Mustaine tout them as a future top modern thrash band.
Evil Invaders. That's another more modern one.
That's another modern one.
Belgian Razor, basically.
Freddy Krueger's Underwear.
What? Who the fuck is that?
That's a Swedish thrash band. It's FKU for short, but it stands for Freddy Krueger's Underwear. They had an album out last year. It was such a blast. God. Fun.
So they're called FKU?
Yeah, which
good, because when I Google Underwear. Freddy Krueger's Underwear, I just get Etsy. FKU fentanyl kills you? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the band.
Just go to Metallum. Just go to Metal Archives.
There.
F.K.U. And there you go.
Oh wow, they are old band.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time, but long breaks between albums.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're kind of like Swedish Exodus.
But they're
Honestly.
goofier.
Mm-hmm. Much more goofy.
I guess maybe The Accused could be one too.
Yes, The Accused for crossover.
What about
Rhythm of Fear? That's a modern thrash band.
What about Hatred?
Yes.
Hatred.
Yeah, Hatred. Yeah, they.
Even though like their later stuff has definitely got some mellow.
Like it's like mellow death thrash. Their last album, which I liked, and also I'm good friends with Cody Sousa, the frontman and bassist, who's also Zetro's son. Really good dude.
Lazarus AD could be a number one for modern bands.
Oh, thank you, boss. Vicious Knights.
Lazarus AD.
Greek band, yeah, Greek death thrash, but more towards thrash.
Crumbsuckers for more crossover stuff.
Yes, Crumbsuckers, that's a big one.
What about? See, it's kind of weird though, because like I could theoretically include Iced Earth because they're very thrashy.
But I do think of them being more a power metal band.
But I also have Agent Steel and
Agent Steel. I think of more as, and both of those bands.
Yep.
Thrash.
You froze for a second.
Let's see. Was there any others?
Goat Horror, maybe?
I think of them being more Black and Death.
But they have a lot of thrash, though, too.
Same with Angel Corpse, but I think of them as Black and Death.
Well, I don't know if Angel Corpse is just like...
Oh, here's one. Body Count.
Yeah!
Crossover and traditional thrash and groove metal. Yeah,
and
they could be on there.
Rap, of course.
Rap metal, too, yeah.
Dude, the last Body Count album was
Leeway. That's another crossover legend.
Leeway, yeah.
Yep. Oh, Silosis.
I thought Silosis was more like metal core, kind of.
Mainly on the last album, but they have some thrash albums. They're basically like I think they're like a British Trivium. Trivium's one that could arguably be on here. Same with Shadows Fall.
Soulfly?
They're very thrashy.
Maybe.
Soulfly?
I think
of them being more groove metal and even recently kind of getting into death metal a little bit.
What if because I have Ex-Hoarder, I could hypothetically include Pantera because they have a lot of thrashiness to them.
Like, and I would argue Cowboys from Hell was their thrashiest album they had.
But then again, most of their stuff is not very thrashy.
Yeah.
Like, Far Beyond Driven is not a thrash album by any means.
No, that's straight up groove metal. Well, you got thrashy moments, obviously.
But not many.
Like Strength Beyond Strength, like the way it starts off, it's pretty thrashy.
A little.
But yeah. I think we've pretty much nailed all the major ones.
Yeah.
Wait, one more for modern band, Schizophrenia.
Is that Sepultura worship, I'm assuming?
No, it's they're Belgian death thrash. They're almost like they're a mishmash of like Demolition Hammer, Morbid Angel, Evil, Slayer, Sepultura, and even Obscura, because they'll occasionally get into like really cool technical solos. But I almost think of them as being like if Morbid Angel were a thrash band instead of a death metal band.
Right, yeah.
And they did a great cover of Maze of Torment on their covers EP they did last year.
What about Nervosa?
Nervosa, yes.
Or Magnus, that could be a number one.
Yeah, Nervosa should be on here. And I think that's all.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's like the bigger ones.
I guess the big ones that
we could keep going. Just talk about random obscure bands.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Attitude Adjustment. That's another. I think they're a Bay Area crossover band.
Tourniquet.
Yeah,
could be one.
Yeah, it could be.
Believer. Aaron just brought.
Yes, Believer. Yes,
more the Christian thrash.
Prog thrash and like pioneering symphonic metal too.
And Deliverance as another like Christian thrash band.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see Slayer and Deliverance go on tour together.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's all the major thrash ones.
I'll go back later and I'll add more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any other lists that you was working on? Or were
No,
those the only ones you
these are all the
had?
new ones I've made. I've updated like a couple, but I don't know if we want to, tread the same
Rehash
waters
those?
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
Let's
picture of Bobby
see.
Liebling, dude. It's the best.
Yep.
Well, what about let's do like a movies tier list.
Wonder what kind of movies we could.
Is there like one for like just like what about like 70s American movies?
I wouldn't know enough.
Really?
I wouldn't know enough to really do that list.
So you've never seen like Last Picture Show or like Chinatown
Son of a bitch.
or like I don't know, like you ever seen any of like Billy Friedkin's movies like Exorcist? You never seen The Exorcist?
I've only seen parts.
What about
Oh,
French
Boss
Connection?
Boss just gave a good one.
Pixar movies.
Okay,
This
this
would be
one
fun.
would be a lot easier. So, all right, so up to 2023 for Pixar. All right, so we kick off with A Bug's Life. I think A Bug's Life is pretty underrated.
Yep,
I remembered watching it a lot when I was growing up, and I thought it was pretty fun.
I'd say
Do I think it's a top tier one?
no, not quite.
I'll
I'd
go
say good.
Brave. I've
Brave.
actually not watched Brave.
Brave is not that good. It really is just it's just there, like the characters are just it's just not good. It's not good. I wouldn't recommend it. There's actually
I'm gonna hang on, so I'm gonna go skip ahead to Cars 1. I love the Cars franchise, mainly because I'm racing guy. But for me, the first Cars movie I still think is legitimately
I used to watch Cars religiously when I was but a wee lad. Obviously I'm much younger than you freaking boomer.
Yeah.
But I don't know, dude. Cars is it's looking back on it, it's got some good moments, but it's not that great of a movie in my opinion. Like Lightning McQueen is like the least likable protagonist in film history. He's just
I think there are more. I think there are more.
Well, I mean, in terms of Pixar movies, he's very unlikable.
In the first movie, obviously, and then he had his moments in the second one. But
yeah,
the third one, I think, was where he finally got together. And also those scenes when he was yelling at Cruz, it was like you couldn't blame him because she kept putting him through a bunch of stupid bullshit.
But I will say that it's kind of hilarious when you realize that Rusty's is like a hemorrhoid cream company. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because it fixes
But then of course, Larry the Cable Guy is Mater. I will always forever love Mater.
And you had Paul Newman in the first one, who he was incredible.
Now, Cars 2, I've seen so many people shit on this movie.
I
like it. I think it's hilarious because of the concept they were doing.
Yeah.
I think it's more enjoyable than more people give it credit for. I'm going to put it in good.
I
think it's a good movie.
I also love how they made the villains like Ace AMC Gremlins and Pacers. Like those are just hilarious to me.
That was what made it good. It was so funny because of the absurdity.
I still love the pistachio scene, honestly.
The wasabi scene.
Yep.
Yeah, where he thinking pistachio ice cream. Dadgum pistachio ice cream.
Again, it's nostalgia for me a lot.
Yeah. Cars 3, I'm going to put in the same tier.
Honestly,
as the first Cars movie, just 3, because. Yeah.
Cars 3 for me is probably my least favorite of the franchise, but it's just because I've spent the least time with it. Yeah. I do appreciate it.
Actually, I'll put it down in good because even I myself have spent the least amount of time.
I do appreciate that it's like more mature. And like it's definitely more emotional,
dealing with like possible retirement and stuff.
Yeah, and like the theme of like having to like move on and like appointing a successor. Well, that's actually quite phallic, isn't it? I just realized we're talking about kids' movies. Get rid of it.
All right, Coco. I've not watched Coco.
Me neither. I've never seen it. I guess we'll just leave it down there.
So Finding Nemo, it's a top tier.
Yes, dude.
I mean, it's such an iconic movie.
Can I be honest about Finding Nemo for a second? When I was, again, but a wee lad, this movie fucking scared the living hell out of me. I don't. When I was like five, and it scared me. There's a lot of like pretty scary scenes for children in it, like the opening scene with the barracuda, and there's
And the
like
sharks.
yeah, the same with the anglerfish that traumatized me. I was also just a little bitch. And I still am a little bitch. Really, nothing's changed. But I love it. I love it. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Finding Dory, I'll put in great. It wasn't as good as Finding Nemo, but it was still a great movie.
I also love there's like the meme that's circulating around where it's the ending of Finding Dory, but in Swedish. And in Swedish, the end in their word for end is just slut.
Oh my god!
So it just zooms out. And it just says.
So
slut.
now it makes me wonder if we're gonna get a third movie, and it's called Finding Marlin.
Yeah,
I feel like that's bound to happen.
Oh,
at
dude!
some point.
Imagine a movie where like Marlin just gets like dementia and he like wanders off or something. And they have to find him again. God, dude! I feel like that's something they would do just to make it the most emotionally draining thing they can.
And now you brought up earlier how Lightning McQueen you think was the least likable protagonist. I think Marlin is the least likable protagonist.
Well, Marlin at least has a reason because he's got like trauma and he's got vices. Lightning McQueen
But he's
is just
always a dick to Dory though.
well, Dory's kind of a dumbass.
Well, short-term memory loss.
Well, yeah, but she's still
What do you
kind of a
expect?
dunce. But like at least Marlin has grievances. But Lightning McQueen is just an egotistical asshole.
Started off, obviously.
Yeah, but the way he treats people throughout like the film too is just kind of why are you like this?
Thankfully, he changed by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
All right, Inside Out. I have still yet to watch it.
I've seen it like a couple times. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of it. It's just kind of weird. Like it's basically a little girl going bipolar, which
yeah. And Luca, I have not watched Luca yet. Monsters Inc.
Top tier.
I mean, I remember seeing that in theaters when it came out on a school trip, and it was amazing.
Oh my god, I just thought of something. Like as like a thought I had like a few days ago, just like randomly out of nowhere. I kept thinking because I was just like thinking about like how like time works and like like cartoons and stuff, and I was thinking, I wonder what Boo's parents were doing during Monsters Inc.
Right.
Like imagine like it's like because like surely time works. Because like for time has to be similar in like the Monsters Inc. universe to our universe in order to scare people. So like Boo's just missing for like a few days. I wonder what the parents were doing during this time.
All right, and then Monsters University.
That's great. Fun. Honestly,
it was fun.
I really liked it. I mean, it's nowhere near the first one, but it's got heart. It's nice to see like the origins of this stuff, and it's kind of cool for it to be focused on like the scaring part because obviously the whole point of Monsters Inc. is that they eventually the scaring stops. But I kind of like that aspect of Monsters University.
Not watched Onward.
I have not seen it either.
Ratatouille top.
Actually, okay, now we're speaking of unlikable protagonists. I feel like Remy is probably the most unlikable. Just because he puts so many people in danger and for his own ego, basically.
Yes.
So, okay, aside from that, though, Ratatouille is a goated-ass movie.
It's fucking amazing.
The soundtrack is so good.
Soul, I have not watched Soul.
What's this one?
Good Dinosaur.
Oh, Good Dinosaur. Bad. Fuck the Good Dinosaur. That movie sucks.
The Incredibles, top. Yep. Arguably one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. But I still have yet to watch Incredibles 2.
I saw Incredibles 2 in theaters because it was like a school trip.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, compared to the first one, it falls so flat. And they have, like, they do the whole, like, twist villain thing, which is just so lame. Like, I feel like that's such an overdone trope, especially in animated movies. It's like, stop with the twist villains, all right?
Yeah. Turning Red, I have not watched.
Me neither. I'm pretty sure that was like a Disney Plus exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. Toy Story
1, top. Toy Story 2, top. And Toy Story 3, top.
Yeah.
We have a perfect pair. I mean, Toy Story 1, the first Pixar movie ever.
And the first like totally CGI movie too.
And it was done so damn well. Great story. Toy Story 2, it got even better. And then Toy Story 3, even better.
Actually, come to think of it, a lot of Pixar movies have very unlikable vocalists because Woody is just an asshole in the first one.
Yeah, it kind of in the same vein of Lightning McQueen, where he's all about being about himself, and then he finally comes to terms with everything. And then Toy Story 2 was all about just self-discovery, and then Toy Story 3 about Woody trying to save everybody from being destroyed.
Yeah, Toy Story 3 is also like the fucking ending where it's like moving on, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, not gonna lie, I still tear up watching it.
And then Toy Story 4 was okay. It didn't need that.
I haven't seen it, but I'm just gonna say it flat out, it did not need to happen.
No.
Like Toys, like again,
if you wanted to keep the Toy Story stuff going, just do little shorts, like special shorts or special episodes, like 30-minute.
Do like the Mater's Tall Tales thing, where it's like one of the side characters going on a quest or something, or not going on a quest, just like doing stuff. Up.
Yeah, especially the opening with when his wife died. That's
my god, it's so sad.
Yeah.
But Doug is one of my favorite characters ever.
WALL-E, I have not watched.
Dude, you've not seen WALL-E?
Nope.
Okay, WALL-E is my favorite Pixar movie. I'm just gonna say it. WALL-E's like one of my favorite characters ever. I love him so much.
Yeah, I have not watched this, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it in bad because why? First, why does this movie have to exist? And two, why do they have to go so fucking woke about it? What the fuck? You don't need to do that in kids' movies.
I can't even read it.
It's Lightyear.
Oh, I've not seen
the Chris Evans Lightyear movie, which I heard it was bad. I have not watched it, and I don't need to watch it to know it was not going to be good.
And I've not seen Elemental, so
I haven't seen Elemental either. So there you go, a rough ranking of Pixar films, more timeless than anything else.
Well, yeah, because like
which goes to show you, because Pixar, when they're on, they are on.
What about like a DreamWorks tier list? Is there one for DreamWorks?
Yeah, there probably should be. I've not watched I've not watched as much DreamWorks as I probably should.
Is this all DreamWorks animation films tier list right there? The second one
as of 2024. All right, so we got Puss in Boots. I have not watched Puss in Boots.
This is the first Puss in Boots?
I think so.
I'd say B. I watched it a lot as a kid. I remember watching it on my mom's iPod of all things. Like when I don't know why.
Already judging by this, I'm gonna end up saying I've not watched a lot of these.
Kung Fu Panda.
There's only a few.
Kung Fu Panda 2, though.
I've actually not watched all the Kung Fu Pandas.
I'd say, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between S and A, honestly, because I think I prefer the first one, but this one is just so fucking, it's like devastating. Like the whole backstory of everything. And
yeah.
Turbo.
Never watched.
I watched Turbo a lot. It's about a snail who goes fast, and he like races in the Indy 500. D. It's just
Trolls.
I watched like the first 15 minutes, but then I lost interest. So
Spirit.
I think I've seen Spirit. I'm not sure though.
I've seen the trailers for it a lot. So
I mean, it's about a fucking horse doing horse things.
Yeah. Shrek Forever After. I have yet to watch this one in full.
Is this the fourth?
This is the fourth one. I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
I put it in B, honestly. I think it's one of the better Shrek ones. I do like it quite a bit.
Shrek the Third.
The weakest Shrek movie. It's really not that good.
Now, Shrek 2 and Shrek 1 are going in the top 10.
Yeah.
I love them both so much. I would say more the first one.
Yeah, the first one's still my favorite.
Because, oh my god, fucking Mike Myers. It still boggles my mind originally Chris Farley was going to be Shrek.
I mean, I can kind of see it, but Mike Myers.
And there is a video on YouTube of like he and Eddie Murphy doing like storyboard animation and voicing a certain scene.
I mean, I miss Chris
It probably would have worked. I miss Chris Farley too. It probably would have worked, but thank God Mike Myers stepped in and gave it the Scottish accent, which made it funnier.
Yeah.
Rise of the Guardians.
S tier for me. I love this movie so much. It's so underrated. Literally nobody talks about it, but it's so damn good.
Penguins of Madagascar.
I don't think I've seen. I have not seen Penguins of
I've only
Madagascar.
seen
Clips of
a
it.
clips of it, mainly with Benedict Cumberbatch with his character screwing up the word penguins by saying penguins.
Penguins, yeah. Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Sherman, never seen it.
I'd say B. I think it's pretty good. I do like it.
Monsters vs. Aliens.
Weird. I've seen it. I used to watch it a lot when I was a kid. C. It's really not that good.
Yeah. Megamind, I've seen bits and pieces of.
Megamind is an S tier. Dude, Megamind is one of the best fucking movies ever. I love everything about that movie.
Madagascar 3.
C again. I think it's the weakest of. I've not seen Penguins, but I think it's the weakest Madagascar film.
Kung Fu Panda 3.
I'd say A. I actually really like it. Weirdly.
How to Tame Your Dragon 2.
I have not. Oh no, I did see the second one. I only seen it once though, so I don't. I remember it being pretty good though. I say B.
Hope.
C, D. It's okay. It's all right.
The Croods.
Okay, Mom, if you're watching this, I'm trying not to offend you because she fucking loves The Croods. It's like one of her favorite movies ever. I say B. I like it. Grug is having a resurgence on the fucking internet right now. He's in a bunch of memes. I call it a rug. Rhymes with grug. And I mean, it's Nicolas Cage, and I love Nicolas Cage.
Captain Underpants.
I have not seen it.
Boss Baby
either.
Madagascar 2.
I give it a B. I actually really like Madagascar 2. I'd say B. Yeah.
And then the original Madagascar.
Also a B. Again, it's a lot of nostalgia. Like, I do like it, but it's objectively not the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Next up, How to Train Your Dragon.
The first one. It's got to be a top tier. Like, dude, so many fucking awesome scenes in that movie.
Next up, B movie.
Oh, Lord. The B movie is like the weirdest fucking movie ever. Like, dude, a human woman cheats on her boyfriend with a bee. What? Dude. What's this one?
All right, How to Train Your Dragon, the
3?
Hidden World.
There's a third one? What the fuck? No one told me.
And then we can't put that in. Over the Hedge.
I love Over the Hedge. B. Again, it's like objectively maybe not the best, but I have a nostalgic love for it.
Shark Tale. I saw this movie in theaters. And it was, what the hell?
Dude, how do you have... Dude, Martin Scorsese voices a pufferfish.
I mean, the freaking cast is an all-star cast.
But the animation is dog shit.
Sinbad.
I think I've seen Sinbad. I'm not sure, though.
Neither have I seen Abominable.
I saw Abominable in theaters. D, it's just so nothing to write home about.
Ants.
I always confused Ants with another movie. I don't know if you've heard of it called The Ant Bully.
Yeah.
I always get these two mixed up because I don't think I've seen Ants. I've seen Ant Bully.
Trolls World Tour.
Again, haven't seen it. They made Metal like the bad guy in it, so fuck it.
Flushed Away.
Not seeing it.
Wallace and Gromit.
Not seeing it.
Chicken Run.
Not seeing it.
Chicken Run I watched a ton. I'm going to put an A. I really
Prince
like
of Egypt, on the other
Prince of Egypt, that's
the
greatest animated movie of all time.
Yes.
I mean, the story is incredible. The
animation is so beautiful.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, dude, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. His performance in this movie is insane.
Mm-hmm. And, like, freaking the cast, like Sandra Bullock, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jeff Goldblum, Patrick Stewart, Steve Martin, Martin Short.
Yeah.
And whoever did Ramesses. Impeccable movie.
Yeah.
And fucking makes you cry a lot of times too, especially the plague scene where the final plague. Where it's like when you look at the story, it's like It's like you look at like the bad sides of both. It's like, yeah, slavery's bad, but did you have to kill all the firstborn kids?
Yeah.
But at the same time, what else was you going to be able to do to free your people?
I see. I'm not even like
it's a tough box
Yeah.
right
See,
there.
I'm not even like a religious person at all, but it's like if
I'm not super religious, even though I am born and raised a Christian. I'm not overly religious. I'm
like
more or less
me,
a
it's like,
spiritual person.
if you don't, if you watch this movie and you don't like feel like moved by it at all, you're a sociopath.
Exactly. Like there's people who are atheists who fucking adore this movie.
Yeah.
So
because it is one of the greatest movies ever made.
The Road to El Dorado. I've only seen bits and pieces. I need to watch it all because I hear it's really hilarious.
I give it an A. I think it's really good. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I heard really it's like in the AS tier range. Crude's a New Age.
Never seen it.
Spirit Untamed.
The sequel. They'll never get horse doing horse things. Who fucking cares?
Puss in Boots 2.
Not seen it yet. I heard it's amazing though.
The Bad Guys.
I just keep saying like seen trailer for it. That's it. That's it though.
Boss Baby 2.
There's the second one. Why?
I can't tell what this is. Let me see.
Teenage Kraken?
Teenage Kraken. Never heard of that.
No idea what that
Troll
is.
Hunters.
No, don't know.
And then another Trolls movie, Joseph and the King of Dreams.
Is this like
I've been needing to watch this one.
Is this like the straight to DVD sequel to Prince of Egypt?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, just judging by the poster, it looks like probably the same.
It does kind of have a similarity. Orion in the Dark.
Don't know.
Megamind, the Dark Syndicate.
Haven't seen it, but from what I have seen, this is the worst movie on this list. Like the animation alone, they completely fucking botched it.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
Haven't seen it yet.
And The Wild Robot.
No idea what that is.
Well, there you go. Mostly he doing this. Like, I've only watched Shrek 1, Shrek 2, Prince of Egypt, and Chicken Run. And parts of Shrek the Third.
I love... Man, I'm going to go back and watch like some of these movies because...
Let's go 90s Disney movies. 90s? Like the Renaissance era of Disney.
So like Hunchback of Notre Dame, stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame.
Well, if the damn thing will load.
I have to refresh the page.
What the fuck?
I was thinking too. I mean, might not be in season, but I figured maybe it could be fun to do a Christmas movies tier list.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one.
Even though it's not in season, but fuck you.
Exactly. I still watch the Jim Carrey Grinch movie all year round.
I mean, you can watch Die Hard all year round, and that's a Christmas movie.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3? I've never seen it.
Yeah. Well, it takes place around Christmas time.
I'll be honest, I'll go back and watch Polar Express in the middle of summer. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. I'll go back and watch... trying to think of other Christmas-oriented or Christmas-related movies I'll still watch from time to time.
I watch Elf and when it's not Christmas.
Yep. Elf.
Is it not loading, you son of a bitch? Come on, Levi's stupid computer.
Or freaking Firefox needs to get their shit together. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 90s Disney.
90s Disney movies.
Oh, here we go. So we got 10 of them. So basically it's one from each year, which was basically how it was.
Okay.
All right, so we start off with a Goofy movie.
Never seen it.
I still have not seen it, and I hear it's so damn good.
All the millennials are going to be screaming at us right now like, you've never seen a fucking Goofy movie.
Beauty and the Beast, though.
That's a top tier. I love that movie.
Top tier.
I used to watch it religiously.
The Little Mermaid. I've only seen bits and pieces, which is shameful on my part.
It's not my favorite, honestly.
Pocahontas is another one I've only seen bits and pieces.
I watched it a while ago. It's okay.
The Lion King, top.
I'd say A for me personally. I'm not like a super fan necessarily, but it is good.
I mean, I wasn't a super fan either, but I can acknowledge, holy crap.
I mean, I mostly like Well, for me, it's like the first half is really, really strong. The second half isn't as strong, in my
Let's
opinion.
see. Down Under. The Rescuers Down Under, I've not watched.
I think I watched it. I'm not sure. If I did, I don't remember a single thing about it.
Aladdin.
S tier. Come on, dude.
Hercules.
Not seen it.
I would go with Hercules. Freaking James Woods is the star of this movie when he's Hades. Oh my god, he has some good one-liners in here, and his rage moments are fucking great. Hey, what's up, man?
Hello.
But like, like there's one part in the movie where his I forget the names of his sidekicks. Hade and Panic, but Hades, like, he catches him with Hercules merchandise. He goes, I have 24 hours to get rid of this bozo, or else my plan I've been scheming for 18 years goes up in smoke, and you are wearing his merchandise. And then he's on fire, and then he turns to see the other guy drinking a soda. Thirsty? Ah! Freaking blows up. Or sometimes, like, during the final battle, he's like, what are you going? Where are you going? Go down there and kick some Olympian butt. And then Pegasus blows his fire hair out, and he looks up, whoa, is my hair out? Or yeah, he just has some good one-liners in there, too. And also pretty good voice cast, like Danny DeVito is in it, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would go A. Mulan. I've only watched once, and it was in the last year, and it was really good, so I go
Yeah.
A.
Did not need to be remade. Honestly, none of these needed to be remade.
No, they didn't. And then finally, Tarzan. S.
I'm not the biggest fan of Tarzan, honestly.
I loved Tarzan. The soundtrack with Phil Collins.
Part of it, well, I mean,
amazing.
I think part of my hatred for Tarzan is probably just part of my hatred for Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh yeah,
who's insufferable.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's short here. Short. What about Martin Scorsese movies or something?
I wouldn't have any opinions.
About really? You've never seen Goodfellas or Taxi Driver? Or...
Like, I wouldn't know enough. Like, I'm sure I've seen one or two in the past, but
come on, dude.
I probably wouldn't know a lot of them.
You've never seen Goodfellas, or
only bits and pieces? Same
what about Taxi Driver?
I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
Irishman, Wolf of Wall Street, Shutter Island, Departed, Gangs of New York, Casino, Cape Fear. What? What? What about Tarantino? Have you seen Tarantino's movies?
Maybe.
Pulp Fiction?
Well, yeah.
Inglourious Bastards?
Only clips.
Django?
I'm lame when it comes... I have a certain box when it comes to movies.
All right, what about, like...
Oh, I got one.
Ooh.
Jim Carrey movies.
Oh, this should be good.
This will be interesting. We got 33, so this is going to be interesting. All right, first, A Christmas Carol. I actually never saw him in Christmas Carol. I know I've seen the commercials where you go, humbug, as he's flying.
I can't really think I saw it a while ago. Don't remember anything about it, though.
Ace Ventura Pet Detective, though, is a top.
Cannibal Corpse scene alone.
Well, and also the whole movie itself is fucking great. So damn quotable. If you were to look up all-time Bonehead plays, now When Nature Calls, underwhelming.
Yeah.
All in Good Taste. I've never seen that. That definitely looks like an early one.
Yeah.
Batman Forever, disappointment.
I mean, it's like the worst Batman movie.
Bruce Almighty. It was worth watching. I saw it in theaters at a drive-in theater when it came out. There was some good stuff about it.
Yeah.
What's this? Dark Crimes.
That's like one of his serious roles, I guess.
Horton Hears a Who.
Incredible. Oh, dude, I love Horton Hears a Who so much.
Dumb and Dumber 2, I seen it. It was underwhelming, but Dumb and Dumber 1, it's a top tier. Then again, 1994 was the year of Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Like, we'll see another movie later in the list I would put up there, too.
Like,
Earth Girls Are Easy. I've never seen it.
No, that seems like another early one.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I've seen clips, but I want to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, me too.
Really
That's like one of his serious roles again.
Yeah. Fun with Dick and Jane, never watched. High Strung, never watched, but I hear it's terrible. The Grinch, top tier.
Yeah.
I always will quote that movie. I've quoted that movie ever since I saw it when I was 6.
Hate. Double hate.
Double hate.
Oh, dude, I love that. The fucking scene where he's like going through his schedule. He's like
inviting me down there on such short notice, even if I wanted to go. My schedule wouldn't allow it.
Oh, I love that movie.
Self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger. Tell no one. 5:30, exercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked. But if I move the loathing to 9, I should make it back and lay in bed, stare at the ceiling, slip slowly into madness. But what would I wear? that will always be my favorite.
It's part. So fucking good.
What's this? Fucking some gay movie did with Ewan McGregor. Fucking whatever. Kick-Ass 2. I actually did not know he was in Kick-Ass 2, but
I've never
Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. I've only seen trailers and clips.
Yeah.
Liar. Awesome.
Yeah,
that was another one I quoted a lot growing up.
This is Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon. Yeah, Man on the Moon.
About Charlie Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman,
not Charlie Kaufman.
Where the behind the scenes stories when he was doing the wrestling stuff with Jerry Lawler. Lawler did not like working with him because of the way Jim was like method acting the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was whatever. Me, Myself, and Irene, though. Oh my God. That movie's insane. Like, probably my favorite part was when they come across a dead cow and only for it to come back up, and he'd shoot it multiple times and come back up. And literally all it took was... freaking cover his snout, and then Irene kicks him in the stomach and he gurgles, and that's how he's dead. Mr. Hopper's Penguins, never watched. Same.
I've seen it. It's underwhelming. Mr. Hopper's Penguins is very underwhelming.
Never watched Once Bitten, but that definitely looks like an early one. Same with Pecan Pie. I still have yet to watch Sonic 2.
Yeah,
Sonic 1, I really like Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one. I really, really liked it. The Cable Guy. Personally, I think it's awesome. Even though it was a darker tone on his comedy, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I watched it a ton on tape back in the day.
I mean, it's Jim Carrey torturing Matthew Broderick, which Matthew Broderick deserves to be tortured a lot.
Exactly. Yes. And on top of that, the ending credits song, Jerry Cantrell's "Leave Me Alone," is one of my favorite Jerry Cantrell songs.
Yeah. What does that say?
Burt Wonderstone? Never heard of that. Majestic, never heard. Here we go. The other 94 classic, The Mask. Basically all three of his films in 94. Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask. Classics.
Yeah.
You're good, kid. Real good. But as long as I'm around, you'll always be second best, see? Oh, no! I'm Roadkill! P-A-R-T. Why? Because I've gotta. Number 23, I remember this is kind of like a thriller one he did.
Horror kind of movie. Yeah.
Horror thriller. Never watched Truman Show. It was solid.
Really?
And then I've never watched Yes Man. So.
That's going to be a spicy take right there because like I think most people say Truman Show's his best. I've never seen it personally, but
I've only seen like a little bit of it, and it was fine. So
Ed Harris is in it, which is cool.
But I definitely need to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and
And
then the third one when it happens, because I
you definitely
really
need
like
to
the
watch
first
Pecan
one.
Pie too. Clearly, that's one of his classics.
But of course, one of my favorite moments from him in Sonic the Hedgehog. Of course, I want a latte. I love the way you make them. He's so good as Dr. Robotnik, though. Man.
I still have yet to see it, honestly.
So good, so good. And then how about we do one more list before we call it? Let's see.
What about Christmas movies? Will you shush, please? Not you, my cat.
Gotta find one that's not like totally forever.
This one's only 40.
40. We'll go with it. All right, here we go.
Okay, yeah.
SpongeBob Christmas. So the first Christmas special.
Never seen
I
it.
go S tier. I love that episode so much. And that was when Patchy the Pirate first shows up. The second Christmas, the only thing I remember of this episode was the song, Don't Be a Jerk, It's Christmas. That's literally the only thing I remember about it. So for that, I'll put it in D. Home Alone, the first one.
That's an S tier.
No question.
Dude,
Christmas with the Cranks.
No, it's not. It's not it. It's not it. Who's this?
Let me double check what this is. The Year Without a Santa Claus. Never seen it. This is a Christmas Carol.
Which one is this?
The George Scott Christmas Carol. I think I've seen this one. Actually, let me double check.
I don't know if I have.
No, I haven't seen this one. There's another Christmas Carol that came out that I saw. It was the one with Patrick Stewart that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the Jim Carrey one. Is this?
That's Polar Express.
Yeah, Polar Express.
That's a top tier.
Yeah,
that's my favorite Christmas movie, Polar Express. I love that movie.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, S tier. I don't know. Many people don't know this about me but I'm a gigantic Peanuts fan. I love Peanuts.
My dad grew up on Peanuts. And I never did, unfortunately.
I fucking love the Christmas special, and I love the Halloween special too.
Home Alone 2. I go S tier for that as well.
I don't know if I've seen Home Alone 2, actually.
Home Alone 2, I think it's almost as good as the original.
That's the one where he's lost in New York, right?
Yes.
Hey, you. Shush.
Frosty the Snowman.
Which one? Oh, I think, yeah, I've seen this one. It's B. I think it's a cute little animation, you know?
Is
this?
Best Man and the Best Man Holiday.
No idea.
Yeah, but it looks like you got a couple of good actors, Morris Chestnut and Terrence Howard.
Before Terrence Howard became like a weird man.
Yep. Let's see, what's this? Harry Potter?
What?
Why do they have Harry Potter on here?
Narnia?
Narnia. There is. It takes
snow.
Place
There's snow in it. That's about it.
It took place in Christmas time, though.
Okay, but for me, S tier.
For that, it's S tier. I mean, I love all three Narnia movies, and the fact we didn't get a fourth one after Dawn Treader really sucks.
Yeah.
And speaking of Iron Man 3, Iron Man 3 is on here, which it's one of my least favorite MCU movies, but it's still decent, so I'll put it in D. Jumanji, top tier. Because I guess it ended in Christmas time, I suppose.
Why is Gremlins on here? Is Gremlins?
I don't know why.
I've never seen it.
Where would you rank Gremlins? Oh, yeah.
I've not seen it.
Mean Girls. I love Mean Girls. Well, there was a part of the movie where they were doing a talent show in Christmas time.
This is where, like, to be a Christmas movie, it has to be, like, kind of centered around Christmas to some degree.
Or take place at Christmas time the majority of the time.
Yeah, like Iron
Man 3, at least Iron Man 3 took place majority at Christmas time, so.
And to answer your question, Aaron, my cat is just being a little shit because that's what she does.
All right, and then The Parent Trap. Basically, young Lindsay Lohan. I remember the movie, and it was fun.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
Let me see. What's this?
Krampus.
Krampus. Never seen it. The Jim
Oh,
Carrey
you
Grinch.
skipped over Frozen.
Oh, Frozen. Which I've yet to watch, and I need to.
I'd say C. I think it's decent.
Elf. Top.
Yeah.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, I love it. Is this the original like stop motion one? Because if so, that's an S tier. Yes.
Yep.
That's an S tier right there.
Which Christmas Carol is this?
Oh, I've
it's the
seen this
Muppets
one.
Christmas Carol.
Yes, the one with Michael Caine, right? Or
yeah,
was it Michael Caine? This one, I'm pretty sure it was. Hold on, let me look it up.
Oh,
yeah, it is Michael Caine.
Oh, jeez.
I'd say B.
Edward Scissorhands.
That's a Christmas movie? And I've not seen it, so
I still need to watch it. Let's see what's
Little Women.
Little Women. Few decent actresses: Emma Watson, Florence Pugh, and Meryl Streep. Never seen it though. Same with the other Little Women movie. Let's see what's this. Oh, the 2018 Grinch movie.
Fuck this movie. It sucks. It blows ass.
I mean, in comparison to the Boris Karloff and Jim Carrey ones, yeah, it's not that great. But I kind of like the twist they did, where it was like the Grinch just wanted to be with people, and that's why he steals Christmas, as opposed to revenge or just straight up, I'm just stealing Christmas.
Ass. It is.
Jack Frost.
Which Jack Frost is this? Because there's another Jack Frost that I remember with Michael Keaton. I don't think this is the one, though. I've seen this one. I think C, maybe. I don't remember much from it, but I remember it being decent.
Hey, what's up, Rick?
Hey, what's up, Rick?
Caught us towards the end of the stream. All right, let's see, what's this? Grandma got run over by a reindeer?
Never seen it.
Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. The final Drake and Josh thing that ever happened. I thought it was pretty fun. I'm going to go B. Was the Secret Wings? Secret of the Wings.
No. Is that Tinkerbell?
Yeah, I've never seen
no
it.
idea.
Jangle?
Is this Jingle All the Way?
No, just Jangle.
Jingle
the invention of the Geronicus Jangle. It's a Netflix thing.
No
Santa
idea.
Paws and Santa Paws 2. Never seen.
No.
Santa Buddies. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Not seen it.
I still need to watch it. And then the Boris Karloff Grinch.
Yeah. A lot of movies that are missing. No Die Hard. No Santa Claus.
Yeah.
No, what are some other ones? Oh, I guess you could have included the Michael Keaton, Jack Frost one.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons that are missing on this one.
And then even because if they were going to include the SpongeBob specials, could have had a couple of the Fairly Odd Parents specials that they did with Christmas.
Yeah, what else?
And no Jingle All the Way too. Yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
Yes, and that would have been easy. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, they're also missing the Christmas Chronicles. I don't know if you saw that one with Kurt Russell. It's honestly really good. I liked it.
Well, I think that's
Christmas Story.
Yes, Christmas Story.
It's a Wonderful Life. It's not on here.
Yeah, even though Christmas Story's overplayed to death. Yeah.
This tier list sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. Well, anyways, I think we're going to end the stream on that note because I am about ready to piss my pants and I need to get to bed. So, anyways, thank you, Maniac, for stopping by and congratulations on becoming a new host of the Horseman Podcast.
Yes,
whenever that comes back.
I am very, very honored.
But anyways, thank you guys who tuned in to all this. And until next time, I might be back on tomorrow night possibly for chatting with all y'all because Nick and all of them are in MDF and some of my buddies on TeamSpeak are in Indianapolis for the Indianapolis 500. So
I will, if that happens, I will not be here tomorrow because I have to work. But fuck me, I have to make money.
But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Keep your horns high and your dreams wet.